Darden Prairie. Michael's Flooring Outlet, igotfloor.com.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
Two more cabinet members confirmed. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. First, a mostly party-line Senate vote for Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to lead Health and Human Services, with Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer urging Republicans to think twice.
Knowing full well the dangerous impacts your vote will enable.
Senator and childhood polio survivor Mitch McConnell, the only Republican to vote against Kennedy over his vaccine criticisms, but supporters highlight Kennedy's plan to focus on chronic diseases. A bipartisan vote in the Senate for Brooke Rollins to be Agriculture Secretary. Her confirmation coming just as the president is set to announce reciprocal tariffs, and during a mass deportation effort that Rollins has acknowledged could lead to farm labor shortages. The U.S. defense chief briefing NATO allies on the president's efforts to end the war in Ukraine.
Speaking at NATO headquarters in Brussels, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says the Trump administration deeply believes in alliances.
But make no mistake, President Trump will not allow anyone to turn Uncle Sam into Uncle Sucker.
Hegseth is calling on NATO members to spend more on defense and take primary responsibility for defending Europe. He's also pushing back on critics who argue the U.S. is making concessions to Russia by beginning peace talks.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Hegseth says negotiations will include Ukraine and NATO leadership. Hamas now says it will release 3 more Israeli hostages as planned this weekend after ceasefire concerns were addressed, including more humanitarian aid.
The IDF had remobilized its troops inside and around Gaza. Those soldiers remain ready in case there are any slip-ups. As for the demand from President Trump that all dozens of hostages should be released on Saturday, in fact, in the fine print, Trump was pretty much deferring to Israel.
Fox's Greg Palcott in Tel Aviv. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is traveling in the Middle East. America is listening to Fox News.
Joe Montana here. In my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease. Are you 50 or older like me? The CDC now recommends vaccination against pneumococcal disease. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at increased risk and over 6 times greater risk of hospitalization with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50. Schedule your appointment today at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
During tax season, your info travels lots of places you can't control.
W-2 arriving from payroll platform 3.
Everything criminals need to steal your identity is on your W-2.
Last call for accountant at home office, 1 minute.
LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second.
Tax preparation data centers with service to IRS. All aboard.
If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
The winter feel in place all afternoon. It's cold, it's windy, some sunshine, but only 27 for the high. Clear, light winds and very cold overnight, 12. Friday, partly sunny, cold morning, but a wind from the south returning Friday afternoon. That's going to warm us up to 38. Periods of rain late Friday night and Saturday, and Sunday, partly sunny and 25. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.
That's Rick talking about his experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago, and they're very cooperative on getting us the right paint. They're in and out out and done in no time. Once it was finished, looked great. We were very happy with it.
The main reason Rick called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
We've watched a lot of people get their house painted 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had to do any of it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to paint it every 5-7 years.
Take a tip from Rick and put down the paintbrush and call Rhino Shield for your free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. Still looks great.
Call now. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural hair products from New Nordic. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or CVS. That's newnordicusa.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us, that's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Well, first of all, let me say that the inflation report released yesterday was not a surprise. However, it does prove that the Biden administration left us with a mess. Inflation, this was the last inflation report from the Biden White House. And it shows that it's an indictment on their mismanagement of that crisis that was ongoing for the past 4 years. And so there's a lot of work to be done, but President Trump and our entire team are committed to doing it. And he already has taken significant steps to lower costs for American families. Number one, he signed an executive order to launch a massive deregulatory campaign. We know more regulation leads to higher inflation. President Trump also declared a national energy emergency. We are going to drill, baby, drill, just as he promised on the campaign trail and also committed to during his first term, which we know led to record low inflation. The president is also committed to historic tax cuts, which will ultimately put more money back into the pockets of the American people. And so there's a lot of work that's going on across the entire administration to put more money back in Americans' pockets and to drive down prices.
Carolyn Levitt speaking from the White House lawn on News Nation and giving us a little bit of a rundown as to what this administration is doing to lower costs. Now, yesterday our poll question was, what do you care more about, the price of eggs or the price of government? Because, of course, we're seeing a lot of Doge, Elon Musk attacks from the left, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that, and eggs are really gosh darn expensive. And I looked, because my husband's the grocery shopper, I looked at Sam's and I looked at Walmart, because those are the two apps that I have on my phone, and they're going for like $4 a dozen.
Well, that's better than I thought.
It's pretty outrageous still,
It's
though.
high,
yeah,
but that's better than I was expecting.
I remember in the not-so-distant past being able to buy a dozen eggs for like 99 cents.
Oh, yeah. That's very recent.
It's incredibly high. I'm laughing, not internally, but out loud most of the time, because the left is saying, you said you were going to lower prices. What have you done? Eggs are out of control. It's a specific thing. There's a bird flu. Okay. You got a list of things there from Carolyn Levitt that the administration is pursuing. And I think I heard Harris Faulkner say today that he's been president for 24 days. Now, let's just put a pin in that understanding right now. The Democrats very, very angry that Donald Trump said that he was going to lower prices for Americans, and eggs are sky high. They've put all their eggs in that proverbial basket, so to speak.
Very, very good.
Put a pin in that, set that aside. Now go back and remember when Kamala Harris was campaigning on making the economy work for people. And what was the excuse that Joe Biden used the entire 4 years he was in office, and why everything cost so much the entire time that the Biden administration was in? It's because of the economy that Donald Trump left him.
Yeah.
The shelf life for that, for the Biden administration and for the Democrats, the shelf life for Donald Trump's economy, which we're going to put a pin in that and go one step backward even more here in a second. But the entirety of the Biden administration's 4 years in office, which Kamala Harris had to pick up and try to move that ball further down the field because Joe Biden was too tired, was that Donald Trump's economy was the reason why there was a struggle for the Biden years. All right, put another pin in that and take a step back further. COVID. Look at the Donald Trump economy up until when COVID hit. It was braggadociously amazing. It was one of the best economies the United States has ever seen. COVID wrecked the whole thing. It was so good that I was saying moronic things on this show like, this economy is so good, what would possibly have to happen to ruin Donald Trump's ability to get reelected? Well, crap. COVID. Worldwide pandemic.
In your defense, which I don't do very often.
That's true. I'm excited about this.
It took an event that never happens. It took the entire world shutting down. That was a little unexpected.
Yes, very unexpected. And then you start seeping into the details of all of that, and you realize that the likes of Anthony Fauci was investing in certain types of research, and that what Donald Trump said was happening when I remember it was just, good grief, it could be to the day. February 13th of 2020. I'd like to go back and listen to that show. We were talking about coronavirus at this time. I remember being in a place where, well, let's see. I think I went to Orlando at the end of January because my husband's birthday, as we know, we've talked about the grill, just happened. His birthday is January 24th. We will try to take maybe a weekend away if it works in with the kids' sports schedules and stuff, which it doesn't as much anymore. And I was going to go on a plane. Do you remember having this conversation on the air? And it's like people were starting to wear masks. And you guys were like, are you going to wear a mask on the plane? And at the time, I was like, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I do remember that.
I don't want to get sick. Where do you get a mask? How long do you wear the mask?
It was weird because we were talking about this because it was in China. We weren't talking about it because it was here.
Well, it was here. It was in San Francisco.
Like individual
it was on the West Coast.
That people were tracking.
Maybe a few in Oregon.
But we were following it because China had completely shut down their country.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a big deal. And we're like, oh my gosh, they're finding cases here now.
At the end of January, it had just gotten to our shore. And when it had just gotten to our shore, that was when Donald Trump was like, we should shut down travel from China. It's bad there. We should stop people from coming here. And obviously, what Nancy Pelosi did was go into San Francisco and say, Donald Trump is racist. She went to Chinatown in San Francisco. You guys remember how psychotic this was?
Yes.
And as soon as Donald Trump wasn't president anymore, it's like they just flipped on the head what their stance was, what their perspective was, what their this is what you must do was. Nancy Pelosi was in Chinatown saying, come, shop, spend money, be together with the people in Chinatown. Otherwise, you're racist.
Yes.
And that was all because she needed to call Donald Trump racist. And then San Francisco was like, everybody to your places. Everybody stay away. Do not go out. Do not shop. Do not be around people, except for Nancy Pelosi, who gets to have her hair done. Hypocrites. Gosh, I hope we find out what happened with COVID. I hope we find out every detail. Every once in a while, I don't know, like almost quarterly, we put out these polls our YouTube poll, it'll be like, what conspiracy do you want to know all the details to the most? You get to know 100% of the detail, and maybe you think it's 100% conspiracy, and maybe it's 0% conspiracy, but you get to know the full book of what happened. What do you want to know the most? And we always put COVID on there, and COVID is kind of like it's a sneaky one. Some people want to know the JFK stuff, and we're closer to that than we've ever been. Or the Trump assassination things, or the Epstein files. What's another one that we ask? Oh, the election. Mm-hmm. I think those are the 4 that we traditionally ask. But COVID, man. I didn't have to deal with this in my immediate family to the extent with which other people did. My grandmother passed away in September of 2020. Not from COVID. She was 95. She had a heart attack. God said it was time to come home. But once she was in the hospital, I think she was in the hospital for maybe a week or so. Once she was in the hospital, she could only have one visitor. And it happened to be my mom because my mom's the one who took her to the hospital. So she had family around here, myself included, but she had other family here that was a generation closer to her than I was that didn't get to go see her in the hospital. That makes me really mad when I think about that. And that's not even the worst of it. When you think about what was done to the American people, the question is, for what purpose? To what end did we go through what we went through? I want to know the details. And maybe at the end of it, we realized that it wasn't anything really nefarious. It was all bad. Maybe there was a little bit of negligence. It's the nicest possible way to say it. But maybe it's not as conspiratorial and, let's just say it, evil as we think it was. I want to know the full truth. I bet you do too. And today, RFK Jr. got confirmed to the Senate, by the Senate, to be the HHS secretary. When I look at what Donald Trump has done to put us on the edge of being able to truly understand what is happening in our country, this is how you give the country back to we the people. Donald Trump has done it, and he has said, Here is our purpose. Our purpose is to restore America first. Our purpose is to be we the people. And yes, in America, even a billionaire like Donald Trump can be on the side of we the people. They're not excluded from being among the American citizens, the American taxpayers, the American electorate, just because they're wealthy. That's actually like one of the coolest things about the United States of America, because in most other countries, maybe all other countries, you have a class system that sets people apart. And once you're in a generational wealth category, you just live life differently than everybody else does. Your influence is different. Your lifestyle is different. We, the people, still mean something in the United States in a way that it doesn't mean that everywhere else. And you've got 2 of the richest people in the United States advocating for we, the people, now in a very high position of power and authority. Elon Musk, one of them, an advisor to Donald Trump, who was chosen in every nook and cranny of this election. Wherever you're trying to find what like the splits, if you're talking about sabermetrics of elections, you know how when you're listening to sports talk or you're listening to a broadcast of a baseball game and they're like, well, I don't know, when it's 75 degrees and the sun's in the west and the playing on grass and not turf, he's a 300 hitter. You're like, I don't care about all of that. Hit the dang ball. Donald Trump, there are no ways to parse the election in 2024 to minimize the impact of how America said, Donald Trump, we choose you. And right now the Democrats know that. And it's very obvious because they are flailing embarrassingly, trying to get anything to stick to the wall so that they can find something to build some footing on. And they've got nothing. Donald Trump needs to care for this moment to make sure that he continues to pursue what the electorate sent him there to do. But I want to talk to people in the state of Illinois. I want to talk to people in the state of New York. 2 states right now that this administration is suing because of their sanctuary status and their willingness to tip off criminals when law enforcement is coming. And it includes people in the state of Missouri who have a supermajority of Republicans but can't always seem to function in a way that looks like a supermajority of Republicans. Like, my dream in the state of Illinois is to have the circumstances that are in Missouri. And sometimes it's like, this is why we can't have nice things. Donald Trump didn't say, if you're Republican, you're with me. He said, if you're America first, you're with me. And it takes the likes of Tulsi Gabbard, a former Democratic representative from Hawaii. That's not like where you go to get your moderate Democrats. A Democratic candidate for the president of the United States is now in charge of our national intelligence because she sees the same mission, the same purpose that Donald Trump set out. And they work together for the things that they are congruent on for the purpose of the country. I'm 40. For a lot of the people listening, I know a lot of the people listening are older than me, but this is what I keep hearing people say. I cannot believe there is a Kennedy in a Republican administration. I'm taking your word for it because I wasn't alive during JFK's time or during the assassinations that took place. I know Ted Kennedy. I know a little bit about that, but that's still a bit before my time. I don't understand with firsthand knowledge what it means to have a Kennedy in a Republican administration, but most of you do. And I've heard it so frequently that I trust that this is kind of transformative in politics. And it's 50-50. I think that's the thing that's the most amazing about it. This isn't a situation where a Republican completely gave over to put the Kennedy name in the Republican cabinet. And it's not a situation where you had Robert F. Kennedy have to completely sacrifice everything that he or his family has ever stood for because he really wants to have a fancy title and, clearance. They have both sacrificed greatly to get to this moment in time where they've found something where they are congruent on an issue. And if they come together, they're stronger than they could ever be apart. And they each convinced the people who are in the electorate who support the idea of a healthier America that doesn't serve the big business, the big pharma, big food, all of that stuff, that actually serves the American people instead. And you've got people on the Republican side that say, shame on you, Donald Trump. You could put a Republican in there. There's a Republican you could pick who's better than that. Honestly, at this point, I don't really hear a lot of those people. Donald Trump has won those people over. And if you look on the left, if you look at what Robert F. Kennedy has brought to the table, of people who probably vote Democrat and probably voted Democrat down ticket in circumstances in this last election, who emphatically voted for Donald Trump because they trusted him to be a man of his word, to put Kennedy in a position that he got confirmed today. What a transformative moment in our American political history. In Illinois, I'm looking squarely at you. You've got a disaster area as a governor. Everywhere he goes, collateral damage follows. He does not care about the people of Illinois. He cares only about his money and his own political aspiration. Donald Trump, what did he repeat over and over and over again? When it came to abortion, he said, I'm with Reagan. I'm for the exceptions. He didn't beat people over the head with some sort of pro-life message that wouldn't be able to win the election. Are there more babies saved today because Donald Trump is the president of the United States than if Kamala would be the president of the United States? You know it. He's stuck to his core messages and he's following through. Think about bringing people in who are congruent on these common sense issues, because the Democratic Party, at least in my life, has never been more out of touch than they are right now. And J.B. Pritzker is the poster child for being completely out of touch with common sense. Look at what Donald Trump did and do that here in our state, in Illinois. Get your act together, understand the core points that matter, and fight like hell to win on them. Because there's too much at stake not to. When we come back, Hans von Spakovsky is going to be with us. Of course, the senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation. Today, we find out that Pam Bondi, the Attorney General of the United States of America, is suing New York on behalf of the administration, on behalf of the United States, in order to push back against their sanctuary city status And if you listen to her talk, she keeps saying, we did it in Illinois, we're doing it here as well. What's that mean? What's being sued? What's the natural outcome if Pam Bondi and the United States government is to win here? Hans, our legal expert, tells us next.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
AirComfortService.com. I want to encourage you right now to think about your HVAC system and how much time you have left on it. Because, shockingly, there have been a lot of regulations that have been put in place for new HVAC equipment, and 2025 is the magic year. This is when things start to switch over. And I've been hearing this across the board from people who are in HVAC. It is going to get expensive. Air Comfort Service knew this, and they thought about it, and they prepared for you. If you are in the market for a new HVAC system, I need you to call Air Comfort Service. Just start the conversation with them. Tell them Annie sent you, and tell them that you're thinking about putting in a new HVAC system. Give me the details on if I do it now versus if I wait in a year or two. The number is 314-513-0091. Give them that call. There's a new federal regulation for the type of refrigerant that is used in HVAC equipment. Manufacturers have had to change how the heating and cooling equipment is even made. It's not cheap to do that, so it's not going to be cheap to buy it. Air Comfort went all in to make sure that they get enough equipment in so that they can provide you those at those prior prices. They're talking a rise of a 20% cost. And when you're buying HVAC, that's a pretty big rise. 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091. Get the savings now while they are there for you. Air Comfort Service, plan for it. You give them that call and they can help you out. AirComfortService.com.
The colder weather is a great excuse to practice your Second Amendment skills inside at the Range St. Louis West. Mark Cox here from my friends at the Range, 14803 Manchester Road out in Baldwin. I told you they have the best training in town. February 19th, the Range is co-hosting a women's self-defense workshop at the West County Gracie Barra location. You can get the details on all these events and how to sign up on their website. It's therangestl.com or follow them on Facebook.
Step outside and fall in love with your backyard again. From inviting porch overhangs to durable composite decks and cozy screen rooms, Lakeside Renovation and Design creates stunning outdoor living spaces designed for relaxation, entertaining, and making memories. With expert craftsmanship and top-quality materials, your new outdoor oasis will be perfect for every season. Call Lakeside Renovation and Design today or visit lakesiderd.com to get started. Let's turn your backyard into the retreat you've always dreamed of.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group. Are you worried about market volatility? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw, and as a family-owned business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. We have a lot of folks that aren't aware of all the new investment choices that are available, which give you growth and protection from losses at the same time. Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying? We can show you how to avoid those fees. So come in now for your free retirement review and get a second opinion on your retirement plan. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We are proud to say we haven't lost a penny of our clients' money in 39 years, and we won't lose a penny of yours either. Let our family help your family. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Prices are going up in 2025 on HVAC equipment. Save now with 2024 pricing on a new system today. For details, visit aircomfortservice.com/new.
When the weather is the story is on 97.1. With live local updates and up-to-date forecasts from 97.1 Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray. Your local source for what's important. 97.1 FM Talk.
This is The Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
We're here today because we have filed charges against the state of New York. We have filed charges against Kathy Hochul. We have filed charges against Letitia James and Mark Schroeder, who is with DMV. This is a new DOJ, and we are taking steps to protect Americans, American citizens, and angel moms, like the mom standing right behind me, who you're going to hear from in a moment. New York has chosen to prioritize illegal aliens over American citizens. It stops today.
We the people of the United States,
More perfect.
your form of our perfect union.
Heritage legal expert Hans von Spakovsky.
Well, Hans, welcome back to the show. I've multiple of my guests. It's like the conversations that you and I are having now, Hans, after Donald Trump has become president, so dramatically different than those that we were having when Joe Biden was president, and the attorney general position. That's a leading difference, I think, that you and I could both see.
Oh, yeah. And isn't it great? It's like finally, we have an attorney general and a president who are actually not only enforcing federal immigration laws, but now going after state and local officials who've been trying to do everything to stop enforcement of federal immigration laws. And that's what's going on with the lawsuits that have been filed in both Illinois and New York. Although, and I have to tell you, they still haven't gone as far as they could. And what I mean by that is the lawsuit in Illinois, the lawsuit in New York, these are civil lawsuits. In other words, they're asking judges to throw out certain state laws, city ordinances that prevent the enforcement of federal immigration law. But let me tell you, and actually I'm right in the midst of writing a piece about this. You know, there's a federal law, a criminal federal immigration law, that makes it a violation of the law to shelter, harbor, basically protect illegal aliens, to move or transport them. So to the extent that any local official, let's say a sheriff, for example, moves an illegal alien so that alien won't be found by immigration ICE agents, that sheriff could be criminally prosecuted, and the fact that he's a state or local official doesn't prevent that from happening.
We're speaking with Hans von Spakovsky right now. I think Illinois seems to, this is my home state, and I live in Illinois right now, and I love my home, and I cannot stand the state government. It seems as though J.B. Pritzker has kind of put upon himself he's bearing that cross for the Democrats. He's very anti-Trump. If Trump says something, he's out on the usual media outlets, really insulting Trump and talking about how he's going to protect the people of Illinois. Does J.B. Pritzker, as the governor of this state, and then maybe it's applicable also in New York now, does he have the ability to push back against the federal government here, to continue to maintain that sanctuary status? Can he keep fighting this to the point where he can win on that issue?
No. Here's the difference. The federal government can't command state and local officials to do something. In other words, they can't order local sheriffs, local law enforcement to arrest and detain illegal aliens. But local law enforcement can't interfere with federal enforcement. Okay, and one of the provisions that they're suing over is the fact that Illinois, Chicago, Cook County are ignoring federal detainer warrants. These are warrants authorized by federal immigration law. They're issued by the Department of Homeland Security, and the way these detainer warrants work is if DHS finds out that an illegal alien has been arrested by local authorities, for raping, assaulting, all the things that we've been seeing them doing, like in the city of Chicago. If DHS finds out about that, they send a detainer warrant to city officials saying, when you are done with this illegal alien, when you've convicted him, charged him, when you're about to let him out of jail, you need to notify us so we can pick them up. Those are authorized by federal law, and yet what's happening? Officials in Illinois are ignoring those detainer warrants and allowing these aliens to go free. And that's one of the things that is the subject of this lawsuit that's been filed.
We're speaking with Hans von Spakovsky. Very frustrating to know what the state of Illinois is doing to actively work against its own tax-paying citizens, its own people, the electorate there. Do you feel like Pam Bondi is do you think she's clear-eyed in the direction that she's taking the Attorney General office? Her focus, is she heading in the right direction as quick as she can?
Oh, yeah. Look, she only got sworn in, a week ago?
Mm-hmm.
And already two major lawsuits against two very big states. Two of the states, by the way, that have some of the largest populations of illegal aliens in the country. And I would think, actually, that residents of both states would be cheering about this, because I cannot think of a more reckless policy than a policy in the city of Chicago, the city of New York, that says that when we release a criminal illegal alien into the streets after they have been charged, convicted, and have served a sentence for burglary, mugging, assault, so forth, while we'd rather have them back out on the streets in our city than picked up and sent out of the country, that is just, like I said, it's not just stupid, but it's dangerous to have a policy like that.
Hans von Spakovsky speaking with us right now. Some of the things that we've seen the Trump administration do as they are purging our country from these violent criminals who are also here illegally. The Guantanamo Bay thing is interesting to me. I want to get your thoughts on that usage for especially the extra violent, the worst of the worst. Instead of taking them out of the country and sending them back immediately to where they came from, taking them to Guantanamo Bay for a moment to further this process. What do you think about that move?
Well, I think it's a good one. And all these people are saying, oh, my gosh, the president can't do that. It's terrible. Seem to forget that, do you know why at Guantanamo Bay, a lot of people don't realize this, they have all these underground bunkers there that are filled with tents, food, all the supplies needed to set up basically a tent city for literally thousands of individuals. And why is that there? Because Bill Clinton first used Guantanamo Bay for tens of thousands of Haitian immigrants who were coming to the country illegally. And part of the reason he's doing that is because we don't have enough detention facilities in the U.S. to hold all these aliens while they are being processed and gotten out of the country. And why is that? Why? Because the Biden administration was shutting down detention facilities throughout its 4 years.
Oh, there's so much that Donald Trump kind of callbacks of things that he's done in this administration, and he kind of kicks it up a notch quite often that prior presidents have done, and he takes that and then puts his own Donald Trump spin on it to make it more effective and more efficient. But when we watched Joe Biden and Kamala Harris during the campaign talk to us about how the border was secure, and then all of a sudden Kamala's like, but maybe we should build more wall. And it's like, wow, that's an about face.
Yeah.
Is there any evidence to the contrary that the Biden administration kicked the doors wide open, told people to come here, and intentionally unsecured our southern border?
Yes, the evidence of that is overwhelming. And look, all you have to do is look at the numbers to realize that. More aliens came across the southern border illegally in the first year of the Biden administration than in the entire 4 years of the Trump administration.
Yeah.
just in the first year. And that was because of all the changes they made, including, remember, the app they put on that you could download from DHS, the CPB app, in which an alien could download this app, tell the Border Patrol when and where they were going to illegally arrive in the U.S., and the Border Patrol would be there waiting for them, would process them, and then let them loose into the country. Yeah. That's how nutty their policies were.
The investment in southern border protections and control was always to streamline the process, never to stop it. It's just it's been so crazy to see what I think we're like 24 days into this presidency to see how much it has changed on the southern border just with some policy change. Makes me really confident that the Biden administration was never interested in securing the border in the first place.
Well, yeah, and here's one more sign of it very quickly, and that is what? In the last 3 weeks, they've picked up, I mean, the last time I looked at the numbers, it was like over 10,000 criminal aliens. Now, in a 3-week period, they wouldn't have been able to investigate and find out the locations of over 10,000 criminal aliens. The only way they could do that was because DHS already knew where they were. That means the Biden administration knew where these criminal illegal aliens were and had made a decision not to pick them up.
Well, we've got the evidence now, and we've got the right guy in office now to change it and put us in a much more safe and secure place. But there's a lot of work to do, and the Attorney General is certainly helping lead that charge. Hans, thanks for being with us today. It's always good to talk to you.
Sure thing. It's always nice to talk to you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Hans von Spakovsky, our friend at the Heritage Foundation. He's our senior legal fellow there. Let's take a quick break. Ryan Wiggins back in studio. He's got Wiggins America Next, stories that make you go, what? It's always interesting to me, the things that make Ryan Wiggins go what and the things that make me go what are not always the same, but sometimes they are. We'll see when we come back. The YouTube live chat poll for today, go to the Annie Fry YouTube channel, youtube.com/@AnnieFry, F-R-E-Y. Can gone woke businesses successfully unwoke themselves? Yes or no? On the Annie Fry YouTube channel. Would love to read your comments to this one as well. We'll be back in just a minute with Wiggins America. Don't go away.
And I'm not trying to lose. Then you're left in the dust.
This is The Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Retirement Advisory Group, Bob and Tammy Kershaw, Thomas Helbig. When you talk to them and you have an appointment with them, it doesn't cost you anything to set up this appointment with them. So you're going to call them at 314-993-9494, 314-993-9494. You sit down with them and you say, here's what our intention was. This is what we've been saving for. They specialize in working with you right when you are at the cusp of retirement. 59 and a half is a magic number in age. And if you are 59 and a half or older, you cannot afford not to make this phone call. 314-993-9494, because sitting down with the Retirement Advisory Group is free. It costs you nothing. You get to talk to them about your situation. They're going to tell you how they can help you. And then you can make your own educated decision as to whether or not you've learned something new, you feel like this is the right move. You're smart enough to make that decision for yourself. You've saved this far. Just make one more smart decision and call the Retirement Advisory Group and hear what they have to say. 314-993-9494, online at retirementkey.com.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guaranteed details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure, it's just not fun, always walking around with a headache.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314-230-9333. 314-230-9333. That's 314-230-9333.
Hey guys, it's Mark Reardon. If you're struggling with low energy, performance issues, or weight gain, Game Day Men's Health has got you covered with testosterone therapy, ED treatments, and more in all of a relaxed man cave environment. At Game Day, you'll get a free testosterone test and consultation, all in just 1 hour. Game Day is the premier men's health clinic with locations in Chesterfield, O'Fallon, Missouri, and Glen Carbon, Illinois. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. That's GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Get back in the game with Game Day Men's Health.
It is Thursday, the 13th of February. Do you know what you're doing for Valentine's Day? YouTube live chat poll today is, can gone woke businesses successfully unwoke themselves? Yes or no? Let us know what you think about this topic, about woke businesses. Can they be redeemed? 12:45. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Hey, it's Mark Cox. Join me and the St. Charles County Republican Central Committee for the Lincoln Trump Dinner Friday, March 21st at Old Hickory Golf Club. Get your tickets now and learn about sponsorship opportunities at 971talk.com/events.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Fry Show.
Wiggins!
Oh! Wiggins!
Yeah, I think that was real big fish.
I love it. It took up 2 years? It was huge for maybe 2 years.
Yeah, people were dancing, skanking is what they call it. And
what?
Then it went away. Yeah, you didn't know this, did you?
People always said that about Ryan Wiggins.
Have you heard of ska?
No.
Ryan Wiggins, most likely his senior superlative, most likely to skank.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like
made good on that
one.
I sure did all through college.
Smelling bad or something. That's what it makes me think of.
No, that's stank. Skank is totally different.
Yeah. It's ska dancing.
It's hard to skank if you smell bad.
Yeah. Well,
not for you.
I don't think the smell really had anything
so
to do with it.
Okay.
I think people could skank whether they smelled great or bad.
Ew.
Ska music, though, is just with a bunch of horns, and it's basically reggae sped up.
Horns.
And it was 2 years long.
Okay.
it was the late 90s.
Maybe you could.
Well, I mean, it was big in the 20s, but the 1920s. It's like an evolution of that type of jazz and flapping.
They call it ska was like round 3 of whatever the ska movement was.
Would you consider the Urge ska?
I think they dovetailed into it. I don't know that they intended to be, but yes, sort of.
Yeah.
You know what's weird is that real big fish, I just realized for the first time, is a pun because they spelled it R-E-E-L.
Yeah.
You're just now
big fish.
I had never heard of them, and when I was pulling it, I realized it in the first 2 minutes.
Well, I was in high school. I was stupid.
Ethan, you're smarter than Ryan.
Yeah. And plus, you're out of high school.
Maybe you could show me
Breaking
during the
lies.
outro music some what skank dancing looks like.
I will.
Okay.
I will. And because I need some time to recover.
You're going to need to go get that coat.
Yeah. All right. These are stories that make you go, what? The first one is about the Chiefs Super Bowl after party. It was not great.
Well, they lost. They got their. It's not like they just lost either.
Right.
They were demoralized.
It was in every possible way a loss.
They still had one?
Well, apparently they book these big venues in case they win, and they have all these acts ready to go. But if you're the losing team, they still do it. They already paid for it. Some people show up, but the team doesn't really go. So it's kind of a party for nobody. And apparently that's what this was. Videos have emerged showcasing the Chiefs after party following Super Bowl 2025. DJ Dylan Francis provided perhaps the saddest look behind the curtain while he performed in front of an empty crowd. It was just basically an empty room. And he said,
add REM there.
He said, quote, "Sometimes you have to go back to your roots and DJ for 3 people."
I was going to say it's just Ryan out there with his fur coat.
Yeah. Shabuzi, MGK were all there.
Oh, wow.
That's
and
Machine Gun Kelly.
MGK is
Isn't
Machine Gun
Yeah.
Kelly. That would make
Okay.
sense. And they had
I
crowds
like how you
around
have to
them.
slow it down
Yeah.
to verify
M
if I
for
was...
machine. G.
G for gun. K for kid. Yeah, my checks out. They still did their hits, but there was just nobody around them. I mean, a few of their entourage were there.
Not even for a minute should you feel sorry for those people who got paid.
Oh no, they're fine.
Yeah.
They're doing fine. In fact, they probably preferred it.
They got to, like, okay, what do I have to do?
Yeah.
Check. Good night.
Yeah, everybody in the club getting tipsy. All right, I'm gonna cash my check and we're gonna go home early tonight.
Didn't the guy who sang that song originally, isn't he from St. Louis?
No idea.
Okay.
Is it
No.
MGK?
Shush.
Because I don't think he is.
You don't even know who he is.
No, I don't.
That's correct.
Machine.
But you know what it stands for.
Does he speak quickly? Machine Gun Kelly. Is that why you got that name?
Can you just... This story is not making me go...
Petition calling for Denmark to buy California
Ooh,
secures more than 230,000 signatures.
What if Greenland buys California and then we buy Greenland?
Ooh, that's 3D chess. I was thinking, what about a swap?
We just make them, like, we just make Greenland be Upper California.
Would you take the swap though? If Denmark said, "Yeah, we'll take California."
California is like the 3rd largest economy in the world or something.
It's not quite that, but it's up there.
It would be hypocritical for me to say about California something different than I say about Illinois, which is I would like Illinois to be great. I don't even know. Yes, I guess Illinois has been great in its time, but it's hard for me to even say make Illinois great again because it's been pretty messed up my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So relative to me, I still want to fight for Illinois and make, Illinois doesn't have to turn into Kentucky unless literally because we secede. But if we can get Illinois to a place where it's moderate, California is going to have a really good chance of that in this midterm election here because people are pretty sick of the California way. A lot of people moving out of there as well.
Yeah, it's true.
What?
I guess that one didn't really work there as much. That was like a real discussion. How about study reveals surprising way to get toddlers to eat their vegetables? You want me to keep going?
Yes, please. I'm listening.
What it says is that toddlers are more likely to eat their greens if their mothers consumed vegetables during the later stage of pregnancy.
What the heck are you supposed to do about that now?
Well,
dang it.
I don't think really
Put it back
anything.
in.
Hell no. I just told my son yesterday, my husband was at Walgreens getting everybody their vitamins, and I'm on FaceTime. Do you do this with your wife? Or I'm like on FaceTime with him. I'm trying to guide him to get the thing that I want, the exact thing that I want. Do you know what I'm talking about, Ethan?
Uh-huh.
Actually, the only time I use FaceTime is in the grocery store with my wife.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much the same here. And I'm trying to guide him to the right set of gummies for me and vitamins. And he's going over there. So I said out loud, my son was laying next to me. I'm like, nope, not prenatal. Move right on past those. And my son's like, prenatal, what are those? And I'm like, it's the vitamins you take when you're pregnant. I said, I didn't take any with you. And he goes, what are they for? I go, to make sure you have a healthy baby and you do everything you can while you're pregnant. I go, I didn't take any with you. It made me puke. And he goes, oh. It's like,
that explains so much.
I didn't mean anything by that. Sorry, kiddo. You're doing all right.
Do you think there's something to the having cravings with certain babies, and then do you think the baby's craving that, like that's what they want? Is there anything to that?
No, I think that my kids want Lucky Charms because they're Lucky Charms.
Fair.
Marshmallows, they're good.
Mm-hmm. Do you save them till the end?
Yes.
No, I don't.
What's the matter with you?
Oh, man.
Have you ever had Oops, It's All Marshmallows Lucky Charms?
No, have you?
Yes.
What?
They're just dehydrated marshmallows, right?
I have no idea. I don't really eat Lucky Charms that much. I don't like cereal that much.
We don't have it in our house because we do like it too much.
Mhm.
It just doesn't get to enter.
Yeah, I usually I'll buy the kids cereal, but it's like, whole grain checks.
No.
Like, there, deal with that, kids.
No, that stuff's just as bad. It's,
Sucker!
It's just as bad. We have all of these big Tupperware things because it stays fresher longer if you put it in the Tupperware, and we've got all of that in our pantry, and they're just empty because we don't get it anymore.
So you don't really need the Tupperware.
No, I don't know what to do with it.
We have a real fight in my house about that stupid Tupperware. Like this,
I have a feeling I know which side you're on.
It's taking up twice the space that it needs to. The cereal comes in a container. It's never going to get stale. But eat it too fast.
But do you put the cereal also in the Tupperware?
I do not. Oh. It's a waste of time. It's an
Who
extra
pours
step.
Who pours the cereal for your kids?
The kids.
And they seal it up right every single time?
No, but it doesn't stay in
No,
the house
but.
long enough for it to get stale. So it doesn't matter. There's no reason to have that.
That's
and before
false.
you say anything,
what?
I already said it's false. You're wrong. I'm with Katie on this.
Last one. PGA Tour. You didn't know there were that many different ones, did you, audience?
I didn't realize they were different.
PGA Tour LIV deal is one step closer to merging both the PGA and LIV because of, and the headline reads, secret meeting in the White House with Donald Trump.
Ooh. He's bringing everybody together.
I don't know if it was that secret, if people from the LIV and PGA are telling everybody about it from the Daily Mail.
I don't know. It seems like it's still pretty down low here on Wiggins America.
But they're trying to merge these two big golf entities into one.
Page turn.
Yeah.
These two
How
big
many times have you said entities
golf
in your life?
entities.
I don't really know what to call them. And so we're going to go back to having one major tour, I guess, because they have competing tours. I don't know that they've actually finalized this thing, but it does look like it's going to happen.
I need you to go back and air check that last story and just assess the amount of information you brought the people. What? I didn't know this was a segment about stories that are still making you, Ryan Wiggins, go. What? Tyrus, Congressman Mike Bost. Next hour, don't go away.
Sell out with me, oh yeah, sell out with me tonight. The record companies only give me lots of money.
Do you think $500,000 in retirement savings feel like $1 million? Or $1 million feel like $2 million? The key is having a comprehensive financial plan for taxes, Social Security, inflation, healthcare, income, and more. Discover how you could make money go a lot further in retirement in a 3-hour adult education class, Retirement Planning 101. Guys, it's Dave Glover from KMOX. This one-night class is taught by a fiduciary advisor from Financial and Tax Architects with decades of financial planning experience. They're held at colleges and libraries throughout St. Louis. There's no cost. Just bring 3 canned goods for the St. Louis Crisis Nursery. If you've saved $300,000 or more for retirement, register by calling 314-350-8110. 314-350-8110. If, like me, you haven't quite had the pedal to the metal the way you should, or if you've had the pedal to the metal the entire time, either way, give us a call. We can help you out. We'll take you wherever you are. 314-350-8110. 314-350-8110 for Financial and Tax Architects.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and stop smoking now without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back.
Totally changed my life.
It's amazing.
I don't have any cravings.
You want to quit, but have found it impossible? This is the thing for you. I have absolutely no cravings. It's the darndest thing I have ever seen in my life.
It's not for entertainment. It's for results.
Do it. It works. Period.
You've tried everything else. You need to come and try this.
Early bird special, only $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings. That's right. Seminars Sunday, March 16th, Aviator Hotel and Suites, South I-55 in St. Louis. Weight loss seminar, 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar, 2 p.m. or Monday, March 17th. 4 Points by Sheraton, St. Louis, Fairview Heights, Fairview Heights. Weight loss seminar, 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar, 8 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
And a lot of people, when they come in, they'll say, I'm usually much more active, but since I've been in pain, I've had to limit the activities I'm doing.
You're listening to Janelle, an arch support specialist at the Good Feet store.
So he came in and he wanted to be able to keep up play sports with his kids. And from there, we figure out which arch supports complement those activities. I fit him with the arch supports, and as I followed up with him, he's messaged me and said, I took my kids to the park today. We're walking, we're exercising, riding the bikes, and those are all things that he wasn't doing before because he was in pain.
For over 25 years, the Good Feet Store's arch support specialists have been helping folks to live the life they love without foot, knee, hip, or back pain getting in the way.
Our goal is to have that long-term change for them. That's what's most important, is knowing that you leave an impact on someone's life. And I like that.
Try them for yourself. Stop in for a free personalized fitting and test walk at the Good Feet Store.
Visit one of our 2 locations, Creve Coeur and Shiloh, Illinois, and at goodfeet.com.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
The White House calls it fair. Lisa Brady, Fox News. A new reciprocal tariff policy President Trump just announced to help balance trade.
He is going to order his economic team to find the most significant trade deficits that are out there and then tailor new tariffs to try to make things a little bit more even. So no new tariffs are going to be going into effect today, and the plan is not going to be for a blanket one-size-fits-all across all sectors tariff.
Fox's Peter Doocy at the White House. Brazil being used as an example, taxing U.S. ethanol imports at 18% compared to the U.S. tax on Brazilian ethanol at 2.5%. Democrats argue, though, more tariffs will translate to higher costs for U.S. consumers. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. being sworn in as the new Health and Human Services Secretary over the objections of all Democrats and one Republican in his Senate confirmation vote. Former Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell, who survived childhood polio, remains concerned about Kennedy's history of vaccine criticism. The Senate also confirming Brooke Rollins as U.S. Agriculture Secretary. She won bipartisan support, 72-28. The Judiciary Committee sending the Trump pick for FBI Director Kash Patel to the full Senate, advancing that nomination on a party line vote. A U.S. ship collides with a smaller vessel in the Middle East.
The U.S. Navy says nobody was hurt, nor was there any substantial damage or flooding aboard the USS Harry S. Truman, a Nimitz-class nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, which reportedly collided with a merchant vessel off the coast of Egypt in the Mediterranean. A Navy spokesperson says the Truman is unaffected and never lost propulsion. The details of the incident are not being publicized.
Fox's Eben Brown. This comes 2 months after 2 fighter pilots from the Truman had to be rescued after ejecting in an incident labeled as a friendly fire mishap. America is listening to Fox News.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
During tax season, your info travels lots of places you can't control.
W-2 arriving from payroll platform 3.
Everything criminals need to steal your identity is on your W-2.
Last call for accountant at home office, 1 minute.
LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second.
Tax preparation data centers with service to IRS. All aboard.
If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
The winter feel in place all afternoon. It's cold, it's windy, some sunshine, but only 27 for the high. Clear, light winds, and very cold overnight, 12. Friday, partly sunny, cold morning, but a wind from the south returning Friday afternoon. That's going to warm us up to 38. Periods of rain late Friday night and Saturday, and Sunday, partly sunny and 25. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
CiviaLaw.com. If you are looking to put together your estate plan, you want to go somewhere that you can trust to guide you through that process, to think about the questions that you're not going to think of yourself, and to help insulate you from some of those uncomfortable circumstances that maybe you've put off doing this because you wanted to avoid those. If you want to make sure that your estate plan altogether is positioned for your will to be carried out, for you to be able to avoid probate, When you don't take care of these matters, like, listen, if you don't want to do anything, everything's still going to get figured out and sorted out eventually, but it goes into probate. And when it goes into probate, it's all public. You lose a ton of privacy. It's going to cost you more money, and it's going to take forever to get it done. Talk to somebody who's had to go through sorting all of this stuff out and having to deal with probate because the affairs weren't already in order. If you want to have your will carried out, get your estate plan done with Todd Sivia. In Missouri and Illinois, had a message from somebody yesterday that said that they were looking into this, needed to get living wills established, and they were in St. Charles. Call Todd Sivia, 833-995-WILL. He has a location right there in Wentzville. So in Missouri, check him out there. In Illinois, he's in Edwardsville, East Alton, Swansea, and Mount Vernon. He's also a phone call away, 833-995-WILL, 833-995-WILL. Reach out to Todd Sivia online at civialaw.com.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac home standby generator from Generator Supercenter. They're the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter of St. Louis. Call 314-499-2020. That's 499-2020 or GeneratorSuperCenterofStLouis.com. That's GeneratorSuperCenterofStLouis.com.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars. Lose the weight and stop smoking. Early bird specials $49.99. Seminar Sunday, March 16th. Aviator Hotel and Suites, South I-55, St. Louis. Weight loss 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Or Monday, March 17th, 4 Point Sheraton, St. Louis. Fairview Heights, Fairview Heights. Weight loss 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m.
Are you tired of feeling sick and tired? I'm Dr. Nick Barnes of Health from Within Family Chiropractic. Our simple 5-step approach aligns your health naturally. We correct spinal abnormalities to maximize nerve supply, focus on pure and simple nutrition, exercise and oxygen, mindset, and minimizing toxins in your body. Transform your health today with Health from Within, conveniently located on Manchester in Rock Hill, or online at healthfromwithinstl.com.
97.1 is excited to welcome Brian Kilmeade back to St. Louis.
Hi, everyone. Brian Kilmeade here. I have great news. I'm going to be joining all of you in St. Louis.
Be a part of this event.
March 22nd, St. Louis. You're going to love it.
Get tickets at briankilmeade.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Retaliatory in nature is the argument, because the reason that the AP was barred, which they said was because they're not using the phrase Gulf of America, they're using Gulf of Mexico in line with their standards. And so the question here is this setting a precedent that this White House will retaliate against reporters who don't use the language that you guys believe reporters should use? And how does that align with the First Amendment commitment that you were just talking about?
I was very upfront in my briefing on day one that if we feel that there are lies being pushed by outlets in this room, we are going to hold those lies accountable. And it is a fact that the body of water off the coast of Louisiana is called the Gulf of America. And I'm not sure why news outlets don't want to call it that, but that is what it is. The Secretary of Interior has made that the official designation in the geographical identification name server. And Apple has recognized that. Google has recognized that. Pretty much every other outlet in this room has recognized that body of water as the Gulf of America. And it's very important to this administration that we get that right, not just for people here at home, but also for the rest of the world.
Carolyn Levitt responding to Caitlin Collins there, asking about the AP reporter that wasn't included in something else, not the press room. The AP was in there. Maybe if Carolyn Levitt would say that the Gulf of Mexico now identifies as the Gulf of America, that these folks would get that.
Yeah. I hadn't thought about that.
We just went through a whole. I mean, it's more than 4 years. We've been. I would honestly say it's been since 2008, certainly 2009, where we've been told this is how things are going to go from now on. To the extent where we just spent, I don't know how many years of the Biden administration specifically, but it felt like 4 years of being told that there are more than two genders, and you will acknowledge that, or you're canceled completely. Do you remember what's the Mandalorian lady's name who got fired?
Gina Carano.
She got, what did she put out? She put out there something about her pronouns being X, Y, or Z or something. Not that. that was not.
Not literally that.
No, because that's probably a pronoun.
It was something about that. It was. She said lots of things about COVID, and
yeah,
she said many things.
But the fact that she was, there was the transgender issue was at the heart and soul of her getting canceled because of the way she didn't acknowledge it appropriately. And then she got cut loose by Disney because of the whole thing. We spent 4 years getting smacked around because we were told you're going to refer to anybody however they tell you you're going to refer to them. If it's a guy who walks up to you and it looks like a man all the way through and through, and they say they're a woman, you better say she, her, or whatever it is, but they can't say Gulf of America?
And I like when I read yesterday, stop dead naming the Gulf of America.
Yeah. I mean, just be consistent. That's all I'm asking for is be consistent. We're going to get our friend Tyrus on the air with us.
You're becoming like my most stable relationship.
Enough said.
You see him on Gutfeld, a Fox News contributor, of course, and he's host of Maintaining with Tyrus on Outkick. Tyrus, welcome back to the show. It's good to have you here.
How are you?
I'm okay. I'm great. It's been great. 24 days of great, making America great again. Do you feel different on this side of the presidency? There's just so much more winning happening.
Well, I feel like I'm more in the now. There's less, like, you don't wake up every day looking sideways at the TV. Like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
What did he say? Oh, no. Did he really fall asleep in the conference? And who is making these policies? So, and the other thing is we are seeing firsthand the corrupt politicians freaking out because it's over for them. They're going to be exposed, and I know we can't get term limits in, but the American people, when they see how much the people that they elected to represent them were not representing them, were representing themselves and self-interest, I think it's going to be a drastic change in the way that people look at congressmen and senators and stuff.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I know you're a big term limits guy, and there's a lot of evidence for the need of that right now on Capitol Hill for sure. Do you feel like the Republicans understand their assignment with Donald Trump winning? Do you feel like they're doing a good enough job, especially considering that narrow majority in the House?
I think there's a handful that are doing the right thing, but let's not get it twisted. The Democrats are not the only one making money off these lobbyists and pharma and these non-governmental agencies and kickbacks. They just can't do anything right now. But we know the ones who really are not like Mitch McConnell, who votes against everything President Trump puts on the table because he's trying his best to put up opposition and hoping that others will follow. Because I think when we see when we start the audits and we see where the money ends up going, there's going to be a lot of senators and congressmen who have to explain their mansions. Mm-hmm. They're going to have to explain their ridiculous amounts of money they have in their bank accounts. Not just Mendez, who got greedy and was hiding gold bars in his closet. It was enough. So I think come midterm, we'll start seeing some Republicans trying to rhino, and I hope that they are out of office and we get them out as soon as possible. And hopefully there'll be some criminal charges. I mean, the amount of taxpayer dollars that is being just thrown around like it's their money is ridiculous. And it's not just one side. It's just the Democrats are freaking out right now because the lobbyists are going to them saying, hey, you got to do something. I think Maxine Waters said it best when she said, quote, we don't know what they have on us.
Yeah.
Like they're freaking out and telling on themselves at the same time.
That's where I'd start my investigation. What's going on?
Yeah, when they're literally getting on TV and getting so frustrated and so paranoid. Liz Warren's running around. She doesn't know what she's going to do. By the way, I guess your little trip to the floor to stop RFK Jr. didn't quite work out, did it? I guess she's just blowing smoke signals, and we're already knowing what's the tea, as they say.
I see what you did there, Tyrus.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well acknowledged. The Democrats do care, though. You're talking about all of these people who are having these massive mansions on their $200,000 a year salary. They do care about where the money is, and they really want to know why Elon Musk, who has so much money, is in charge of cutting. And we didn't vote for Elon Musk. Is he some sort of bureaucratic tyrant?
We didn't vote for any of those programs either. We didn't vote to watch the sexual habits of South African gay men. We didn't vote for that either. I don't believe it was on the ballot. I think
it wasn't on my ballot.
Maybe said what they do in South Africa is their business. We don't need to. Who's watching that? Are they sitting there with a pen and paper check marking? Oh, I mean, like the fact the contractor who had a 30-day contract but got paid for 10 years. Like it's just. And I love the fact that they're all there, and you know who the mainstream media are who benefit. It wasn't just Politico that was getting money, because you watch all these opinion artists going off and attacking and going after Elon Musk because it's against their best interest too. So the corruption's deep. The DNC was using taxpayer dollars, in my opinion, to make sure that their pundits on TV and their networks like CNN. I'm sure the speaking engagements were significantly better for those who spoke out, for those who would pretend like they didn't know that President Joe Biden was completely unfit to serve and to play dumb where their staffers made policy. I mean, I think that's going to be interesting to watch whose names pop up, and you're going to see some early resignations. But even resigning is not going to save you from stealing the people's money.
Yeah. I think when I'm watching the left react right now, I'm just waiting for them to find something that makes me go, ooh, they might have a point there, or they might have something that resonates with a strong enough base that there could be some pushback. But watching these protests and watching Chuck Schumer and Elizabeth Warren, like you mentioned, it feels like they have absolutely nothing at this point in time.
Listen, very rarely do I disagree with you, but are you out of your mind? They literally ran a country for 4 years, and we had no idea that he couldn't read off a card. Do you understand? Like, they were making policy. Schumer whomever walked in, like, hey, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's send money here. Let's cut checks here. And all he did was sign, had no idea what he was signing.
Yeah.
So for them to say anything about transparency is absolutely laughable. And unfortunately, you cannot bribe Elon. You cannot bribe President Trump. You cannot bribe the people from Doge. And they're so in the mud that all they can do is throw it. And they don't even realize when they're making themselves look foolish.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to say Big Balls. You can say his real name. But they thought by saying that somehow it was going to be outrage. He's trolling you.
Yeah.
Just to get you to say it. And then what did Elon do? He changed his to hair. Like, they just want to hear you say it. Because they think by saying that, the American people sitting home on their couch, all 7 of them that are watching CNN, are like, oh, this is an outrage. He used the B word. It's not going to work.
It's true. When you're on the winning side, it's just funny, I guess.
But it's not even a winning side. It's the common sense side. Bill Maher is there.
Yeah.
There are Democrat senators and congressmen that are going to come forward and say, hey, especially the new ones who haven't got a piece of the pie yet, there's hope for them. Or the few that stayed true. But again, when you go through Liz Warren's wealth gain during her time, she's going to sit there and tell you those are all speaking engagements. Nancy Pelosi's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. That's all from hearing her speech. Are you kidding? Like, what are they doing? What side hustle do you have that is so much greater than your full-time job?
Yeah. I'd like to have a piece of that if it's on the up and up. That's for sure. Tyrus, I want to ask you.
Yeah, it's on the up and up is like saying Gus Phelps tall.
He's not. Super Bowl, can you talk to us about your thoughts on the Super Bowl? You're over. Did you watch it? Did you take? I mean, New Orleans is your place.
I made a prediction at 6:18 p.m. that it would be Eagles 37, Chiefs 13. Would have hit it had it not been for garbage time. I didn't think it was going to be close. I thought the Chiefs had. It's a three. There's a reason why there hasn't been a three-peat. It's incredibly hard to do. Those guys have been playing basically an extra football season, and they've been on the right side of a few calls here and there. I'll just say that.
Mm-hmm.
And Philadelphia just punched them in the mouth. And the way the game management was, Philadelphia's defense got a lot of rest because Philly was able to control the game, and Kansas City just couldn't recover. And I don't care how good of a quarterback you are, when you got less than 2 seconds, you're not going to do very well.
Yeah,
and
makes
that's
a lot of
exactly what
sense.
happened.
Tyrus, did you think that the commercials were maybe a little more true to what they used to be, a little less woke this year?
It depends when they were filmed. So
That's a good point.
we saw half of them that were filmed before the election. I think the Tom Brady soup one, they're not even in the same room. I guess they couldn't afford the good graphics. Those guys that were staring in a flat space, some of us have 4D TVs, Joe. So the woke ones that were made before the election, they ran with them anyways, and they were kind of like, rah, and I guess was the best way to describe it. Everyone's kind of like, oh, we used to be like that, or have to hide and put up with that. And then there was a few, but like Bud Light, you're trying really hard, but you're barking up the wrong tree. It's simple. Apologize to the workers that you laid off. Apologize to the people that you insulted when your CFO sat up and said it's Franny and said, basically the people who have been supporting your company and making your beer company number one aren't good enough. That's where it needs to start. Instead of bringing in celebrities for commercials, bring in the truck drivers. Thank them for doing the work. Make a montage of everyone who works in the factory. Like back pay or do something for the people that work, and then the Americans might say, hey, you know what? But bringing in a comedian and getting Manning to drive a tractor is not going to get it done.
Last question about Super Bowl halftime show. Kendrick Lamar fan, what'd you think?
No, I really wasn't. Like I said, I listened to the old school stuff that I came up with. It wasn't great. Didn't care for it. I'm not a big fan of lip syncing at Super Bowls anyways. I always think the live rock and roll bands, whether it's like a Snoop with a rock and roll band or ACD, I think that's always better, gets the crowd into it. But, using that opportunity to do a diss thing for Drake, I thought was stupid. It didn't register. Nobody gets it. It was just boring.
Was Samuel L. Jackson,
his Uncle Sam was awesome. There was some good things to it. There was some cool things to it. But Kendrick Lamar's, the songs, everyone was like, huh?
Yeah.
What? So
I just thought I was out of touch.
No. It's just like I said. The young rap game is whack. I don't even like. It's like you're bragging about owning a car and getting a woman. That's not hard. That's just not. That's not tough. There's 50 billion women on the planet. You know what I'm saying? It's just I have a car and a girl, and I'm gonna take yours. Wow, you just floored me. Oh man. Never thought of that before. I guess the more wisdom you get, like I said, I like Ice Cube's the lyricist. I like the old guys who could actually talk about something in their raps and clever with it. Scarface, guys like that. This new stuff is like whiny baby rap. I don't know what it's studio rap. And the best part of the songs is the sample.
Yeah.
When I hear music, I was like, oh, that was the jam. I remember that. And then what? Williams Crip Walking, that was just a gem. It's just because if I was her husband, I'd have left her ass out on the field.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people saying, why are you talking about an ex that's 13 years ago or something like that?
Yeah, it's just it's the Super Bowl. Having her come out would have been cool, but just do something that, why does it have to be a diss on Drake? It's about America, Jack. It's Super Bowl. We don't care about Canadians on a day like that.
To clarify, though, because I didn't understand. I watched it. Rap's not for me, so I'm not going to. If I like country music, if someone doesn't like country, I'm not really interested in their thoughts on a country.
You can have a bad country music concert,
sure.
too, if a country music guy came out and he started dissing another country western song.
Yeah,
we're like,
you'd be like, why?
Hell?
But was the
why
Samuel L. Jackson...
going after Brooks like that?
Was the Uncle Sam Samuel L. Jackson thing? I couldn't tell if it was in jest or respectful. Your thoughts? Was he?
It was weird because I thought Samuel was dissing him. That's not it. Do this way. Samuel Jackson is an icon.
Yeah.
So him as Uncle Sam, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I think everyone was here for it. Everyone cheered. The
He
only
looked
people
great.
who were upset by it apparently was The View, because they tried to bring it up. Because he's Black Uncle Sam. No, he's Uncle frickin' Sam.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and you could change the posters. I want you with Samuel Jackson, and no one's going to have a problem. They're going to be like, man, Uncle Sam is cool now. So he transcends color. And most of us do. Nobody was like saying Black this and Black that. That's only people who try to make issues. Like, he's a good uncle. That's like when Denzel Washington played Macbeth, nobody said, oh, that was a good Black Macbeth. They're like, Denzel killed it.
Because he's Denzel.
You know what I mean? Like, it's when you do good work, no one says that. When you suck, they bring it up. Oh, he was the first Black Uncle Sam on the Super Bowl. Because that meant he sucked, but he didn't. He killed it, and that was probably the highlight of the whole Super Bowl thing. I could just have Samuel just do that whenever. Just randomly pop up. Show's not going good. You know, the concert's not going good. Samuel Jackson pops up on the big screen. Get it together. And then, you know, I'd take that all day.
Yeah, he looked great. I was entertained by that part, at least. Tyrus, always good to talk to you. Can't wait to have you back again next week. Thanks for being here with us today.
Yep, have a good one.
Yep, you too. Bye-bye. Tyrus, check out his book, Nuff Said. It's available right now. You can follow him on X at Planet Tyrus. Let's take a quick break. We're going to make it a super quick break because Congressman Bost is going to be with us here in just a minute, so don't go away. More Annie Fry Show around the corner. Stewart's American Mortgage and the Bagel Loan. You reach them directly into Stewie's personal cell phone when you call or you text this number. So get your phone out right now. And if a bagel loan is of interest to you, a bagel loan is a mortgage or a mortgage refinance that you get, and it doesn't cost you anything to do that. There are no closing costs. In Missouri and Illinois alike, you can reach out to Stewie at this number, 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. When you work with Stewie, he's going to cater to you to make sure that you do get the best possible situation for yourself. I have family members who have worked with him, and they go there for one purpose, and he's like, actually, I can do something even better. And he ends up making sure that when you walk away, you have the best possible financial situation for yourself because you worked with Stewart's American Mortgage. 314-324-4440. 314-324-4440. Google the Bagel Loan to find out more information. NMLS number 226715.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. If you have a furnace that needs service, a heat pump that needs repairs, or a boiler that needs to be replaced, contact Air Comfort Service. They offer 24/7 emergency heating service too. AirComfortService.com.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Fry Show.
The Senate Budget Committee, under the leadership of Senator Graham, Chairman Graham, will move forward with a budget resolution that will address many of the topics that we think are of immediate concern to the American people and priorities of President Trump and his administration. Starting with securing our southern border. We desperately need resources to make sure that our leaders, and we heard from a couple of them today, and Senator Graham will speak to that in just a minute, have the resources that they need to do the job that the American people expect us to do, and that is to keep our southern border secure. It is a national security issue. It's an economic security issue. Secondly, obviously, and just as importantly, is making sure that our military and our defense is ready to deal with any threat that exists around the world. And
well, that's from the Senate side of things. Senator Thune there talking about reconciliation and this big, beautiful bill that you are watching Republicans in the House and the Senate try to get to. We go to our friend in the House. We talked to Congressman Mike Bost, United States Congressman for Illinois' 12th District. He's also the chair of the House Veterans Affairs Committee, and he's on with us now. Congressman, welcome back to the show.
Annie, thanks for having me on. I sure appreciate it.
Well,
it's a busy time.
It is a busy time. I want to give you the floor. Tell me what's going on in Capitol Hill right now that you want the people here in your district to understand what's taking place.
So the Senate is moving forward with their budget proposal for reconciliation. We're moving forward for our budget proposal with reconciliation. It's my understanding in the House we're also moving ours through committee today. We came to an agreement earlier in the week, but it had to be drafted. It is ready to go, but it's not easy. With a small majority, we've got to make sure our members are all lined up. You and I have discussed that before on how we have to make sure our members are lined up so that we're moving it because it has to include, as you heard in your clip there, it does have to have border security. It has to make sure that we iron out our differences as far as we got to do the taxes because if we don't do the taxes, that tax increase will be tremendous if we don't get that passed. And that's the idea of the big bill. And when I say taxes, it's the tax cuts. So making the tax cuts permanent, if you don't make the tax cuts permanent, in December of this year, they come back with a vengeance on lower and middle income families and small businesses. So that's in there. All of the things we promised, the border is huge in that. It is, it allows for us to cut spending, extend the tax relief that I was talking about and do the border. It also allows to extend the tax relief and without it, it's 80% of the families will see their taxes go up. It will also allow a fix in illegal immigration, and it provides $175 billion more to finish the border wall, and it will help make sure that we reduce the size and cost of government at the same time. All these things that we've been finding through DOGE, and we'll be able to start implementing those by reducing government. And the big goals by reducing that will give us other money that we can spend in other places. And so that's vitally important.
You know, everything that you're listing there seems to me to be a no-brainer. But then there's always the mechanism on how you actually get that done. And if you're going to cut, how much do you cut? Is it the Freedom Caucus of the House Republicans that's not on board?
Argument. Here's the argument. That was the argument. It was those. Well, it can be more than the Freedom Caucus on a few places. It's the budget hawks, and I don't blame them. I would be a budget hawk. I'm also a defense hawk, which is always a challenge, right?
Yeah.
But the budget hawks, they're wanting, and the most important thing is get them to a point that they will accept the very, very good instead of the perfect, because if we go for the perfect, it loses people on the other side of our conference that might be from swing districts, and those type issues. So it will be a more. Well, I tell you what, it's going to be what President Trump wants. So let's be real clear on that. He got to take the lead on this, and we've got him involved. With him working on all this, he really wants one bill, because if we try to do it in two bills, I'm afraid we'll have to go to the Democrats for votes, and we can't do that because that ruins reconciliation. Because reconciliation is the one time, and that's what people need to understand, that we can actually get in the budget in the Senate and get it out with only a simple majority instead of having to have the cloture, which is 60 votes.
Congressman Bost, this is Ryan Wiggins. I wanted to ask, I've seen reports that the debt limit under this proposal would have to be raised quite a bit. And so first of all, is that true? And second, if so, why?
Yes, here's why. Okay, the debt limit has to be raised quite a bit to finish out Trump's term. And here's why. That doesn't mean we're going to hit that debt. We believe we would never have to have that debt limit, but in case we do, and we're not able to stop the spending, what happens is if we hit up to the debt limit, the faith and credit of the United States government is lost. That's why you've always got to increase the debt ceiling if you come up on it. But if we do that and don't get it done in this bill where Republicans set that, then what happens is you have to go to Chuck Schumer to help negotiate that. That becomes more expensive to the American people. That's why we've got to get it done in this. And understand this. This is what a lot of people don't understand, because politically they said the debt limit. People get that confused with increasing the debt. It doesn't increase the debt. That increases the level of the height above the debt so that we don't go into default. That is the most important thing to realize. So we can raise that. But the idea with this administration is, if you look at what we're talking about, we're reducing, we've got a target of $2 trillion to reduce. Therefore, we don't hit that debt limit. We could probably not pass the debt limit, but we can't guarantee that. And then if we would have to come back, all of a sudden we've lost all the ground we've gained because the Democrats will want to negotiate and put all kinds of stuff back in so that we don't go belly up on our debt.
Yeah. We're speaking with Congressman Bost here, the United States Congressman for the 12th District of the state of Illinois. Congressman, we're watching Elon Musk navigate us through his Doge efforts. We're watching as they are. It is amazing, and it's so it's so out in the open, which is so accessible.
Yeah,
which I really appreciate.
Actually, yeah. So you're going to ask? I'm sorry, I interrupted with that.
No, that's okay. What I want to know is if he finds that we sent $59 million to Zimbabwe for condoms. Well, to me, that's money that's sent. Does that mean that money was going to be sent again in the next year?
No.
What can you make sense of the dollars that he's finding?
Money was line item. We can claw. What we're doing is we're going through that. So understand, we give them money and then they appropriate in their line item. If they haven't sent it yet, we claw it back and we stop it. Okay.
So some of it might be recoverable.
A lot of it is going to be recoverable. A lot of it is going to be recoverable. But you got to remember, this agency, which is not an agency, has been operating since the 60s. And it has been this secretive administrative way to shovel money. And when members that are supposed to have oversight goes to this committee or goes to the USAID and say, hey, what are you doing this? It's none of your business. Oh, yes, it is. We appropriate it. Well, yeah, but we weren't created by Congress. No, but you're spending congressional money that's allocated. And then the argument back and forth. And this is what finally happened is you finally have an administrator that says, okay, you're right. You just said it wasn't, and so we're going to un-administrate it by Congress or by the administration. And now all of it is open for investigation and pulling out. So abolishing it and you know what? There's some good things it does, but you know what? We can do a lot of good things without them. So, we'll be able to look that stuff over. To watch the Democrats' head explode over this. How do you go back to your constituents? And I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican, and tell them, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and let that money get spent, and we don't really need to be accountable for your tax dollars. Yeah. No, the election was a very clear statement. We're going to be accountable. And not only that, you're going to see it with almost every agency, not to lose the services, but if you think there isn't waste in every agency, you're going to have to watch closely because it's going to be happening in every agency.
Congressman Bost, you're kind of speaking to this, and I think I've asked you this question before, but I just want to, as we keep going through this process, I want to get clarification. So Doge is coming out and saying, here's all the cuts that need to be made, and they're making public all the waste and everything. Do they then have to bring that back to you in Congress to then sign the reconciliation bill to make those cuts official? Is that how that works?
So here's how the reconciliation bill goes. So what it does is it allows us to move our top-line budget over to the Senate with our suggested reductions and all the reductions that you're going to have on reconciliation, it's really wild, must be mandatory spending. But it is the one time that the Senate then, because it's a reconciliation, so not an actual bill, the Senate just has to respond with a simple majority. So that is what allows us, when we have unified government, to use reconciliation as a tool. Remember, the last time we had reconciliation as Republicans was during the Trump administration, and we used it for the health care and things like that. The problem is many members didn't know and understand and weren't ready because they never thought Trump was coming in. We started preparing for reconciliation on the House side, working with the Senate, about 6 months before Trump was elected, just in case Trump was elected, and thank God he was.
Last question before we let you go. We're speaking with Congressman Mike Bost, Illinois' 12th District Representative. Can you quantify the amount of savings that Doge is offering the American taxpayer and how we are going to budget under the Trump way of doing things, the America First way of doing things? Are Americans going to be able to see a difference?
Yes, they will. And here's why. So they've already seen it if they're paying attention to those areas where the waste has already been seen. Let me tell you that what's really wild is through the Treasury, through the program that could be run, we could see when payments were going out, where those payments were going, where if you listen to Elon Musk talk about the fact that even in Social Security, look, we want nobody's Social Security disability or Social Security and or Medicare Medicare reduced, we want to make sure that it is safe and sustained. And if you've got paying people that are 150 years old, odds are you're paying somebody. And the waste and fraud that's in there, so yes, people will not only see it in that agency, they'll see it across every agency.
Mm-hmm.
But remember this, when the Democrats tell you that DOGE is, and when you're talking about Elon Musk's DOGE, that's not a government agency. He's not. He is an agency under the administration, but we do have a DOGE committee in the House that, and there is a DOGE committee in the Senate that is dealing with these things under suggestions of what is brought back forth by the group that is known as DOGE when you talk about Elon Musk.
If I may, just a follow-up from a commenter who's watching us on YouTube. He says, who determines what is waste and fraud, and how can we trust Musk's tweets? Does Elon Musk have unilateral control over what gets cut here?
No. All he has is control over being able to look into the agency's line items and come back to us. The control is the House and the Senate because we control the purse. But when we get to the point that we can identify each one of these, which he's allowing us and helping us to do with programs and things like that, then we can go in. That is where we will say, hey, that's not going to happen. Hey, we may have to look and go, hey, no, we will look. Let's be clear on that. We will look and go, he said that this is there. Then we do the look over and say, what was that really being used for and everything like that. When you talk about USAID, though, it's just line items. And not only is there a problem whenever you just hand them money for all of these things that are just bizarre, to say the least, but it's also the fact that you give them the money of these foreign countries, and then there's no oversight of how they're spending it in those foreign countries.
It's just been
that's
amazing.
A danger too.
Yes, it's been amazing to watch this and so eye-opening.
But it's what we've claimed for years, and every time you turn around, somebody from that wants to keep the spending up goes, oh, they always say there's waste in government, but there's really not. Oh, yes, there is.
Oh, yes, there is. Congressman Mike Bost, don't be a stranger. We always love having you on, and there's so much to talk about. We love having you. Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
It's going to keep going. Thank you.
It is. Don't stop yet. Congressman Mike Bost, 12th District Representative in the state of Illinois. You know, the thing about it is, we've talked about this before, and I get a little defensive, I think, when people are like, all politicians are corrupt. You guys know the line, but if you haven't been listening to the show, or maybe you didn't hear me say this before, there are 538 people in Congress. How many can you name? The majority of Americans, do you think they can name 10?
Probably not.
I think 10.
It'd be a stretch.
If you could name 10, that would mean you can probably name your 2 senators. Which
maybe.
Yeah, you might not. You might know John Fetterman and Ted Cruz or something and not know Tammy Duckworth and Dick Durbin, whatever. But when people say all politicians are corrupt, I'm like, that's not accurate. Now, the politicians who have been there forever and ever and ever, I'm leaning in and looking a little bit closer. I don't think that you're inherently corrupt because you've been there for a long time, but I am curious as to why Bernie Sanders, the resident communist in American government, socialist at least, self-proclaimed, has 3 houses and has only ever worked in public service. I have questions that I think deserve reasonable answers. I don't think that everybody is corrupt. And honestly, with Bernie Sanders, it's not the money that he has that I'm so mad about. It's his hypocrisy that annoys me. And that yet he is still in a position to represent people in word in a way that is different than in deed. That bothers me about Bernie Sanders. Not my senator, so I don't really get to have a say in it. Certainly wouldn't vote for him for president. But I don't think all politicians are corrupt. I think there are plenty of them that are, and I think they should be held to account. We just saw Democratic Senator Menendez. He's going to jail if he's not there already. He's probably got a little bit of time. But we know that corruption exists. We don't know to the extent that it exists. But I would like to know when just like Congressman Bost was saying there, when people say, oh, there's a ton of waste and fraud in government spending, don't we all kind of have this like exacerbated, probably oversimplified view of the money comes out of our paycheck, goes into a big kettle of taxpayer dollars, and then it goes out to useless things. That's kind of the oversimplified version of what we think it is. And as conservatives, you think that even more. If you're a progressive on the left, you think the pot and kettle is not big enough, and that your paycheck and my paycheck probably is too big, and we could put more in that pot and that kettle. when it comes to Doge and it comes to what they've uncovered so far, it's bigger than I actually thought it was going to be. It's more expansive. Like, how is that even possible that we could have these oversimplified views of how our taxpayer dollars are being spent, and it's actually worse than your oversimplified view of what it was going to be like. We're seeing that in real time.
One of the things that I've seen people say online that I was like, yeah, there's probably a lot of truth to that, is there have been previous administrations that have said they were going to look at this stuff. They wanted to cut spending. Elon Musk and his team are so technically savvy that they're able to actually look at where these things are going, and that even AI, the advent of AI, is helping them narrow down the possibilities of where this is going, because it's so expansive that for somebody to sit down with a pen and paper and go over this, it might not even have been possible 10 years ago, but it is now. It's really amazing.
Thank you, Donald Trump. There's no other way to phrase it. Thank you, Donald Trump. Quick break. Let's discuss this poll when we come back. Can gone woke businesses successfully unwoke themselves? Tell us what you think in the YouTube live chat. You can vote in the poll. It's right there. We'll get some of your thoughts on this. Terry says a company can unwoke only if they fire everyone involved in the decision to go woke. So that's something that Terry thinks would need to be done to get you to the other side of that really poor decision. What do you think? You agree with Terry? Go vote in the YouTube live chat poll. Leave a comment. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
STS-armory.com. The firearm shopping experience with Katie and Jesse at STS Armory in Pontoon Beach, Illinois is an exciting one. If you are going to purchase a firearm, I don't know. I guess every situation is different, but it's exciting in our family. If you're looking for a new hunting rifle or a new carry a sidearm or something like that, you go to STS Armory and they're going to walk you through that process. They're going to listen to you. They're going to ask you questions that maybe you hadn't thought of. They have experience with all of these different firearms. I mean, they've fired them. They understand how they operate. They know people who have shopped and have preferred this over that, and they can give you all of this guidance so that when you make that final purchase, you're really confident in what you finally choose to buy. You can also hire the folks at STS Armory to teach you more information on being responsible. You can get the conceal and carry class done with STS Armory. You can get your renewal done with STS Armory. You just got to visit them in Pontoon Beach, Illinois, or online at sts-armory.com.
When's the last time you gave your home's exterior a little love? Hi, it's Kim, and if your siding is cracking, it's fading, or just doesn't stand up to our St. Louis weather, it's time to call Lakeside Renovation and Design because they're experts in James Hardy siding, which is this durable, low-maintenance option, and it looks beautiful. Plus, you have customizable colors and textures, and so you can give your home a completely new look while protecting it for decades. Don't wait until the small problems turn into big ones. Visit lakesidearty.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for Underdog Fantasy, and from fast breaks to buzzer beaters to block parties, there's nothing as exciting as basketball. With Underdog, you can bring that excitement to wherever you watch. Playing on their app is as easy as choosing higher or lower on a player's stats, like threes made, points, rebounds, and more. Get those selections right, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. Millions of fans have won billions on Underdog. Will you be next? Join in on the fun by signing up for Underdog today using the promo code MARKR, and you'll get a free selection as part of your first cash entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. It's really easy. It's a lot of fun. You can make basketball picks. You can also create entries with other sports like the NHL, mix and match. You make the call. It's a lot of fun. Do not miss out. But again, when you sign up, don't forget to use the promo code MARKR, M-A-R-K-R. Must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Attention St. Louis Medicaid members. If you need assistance with daily living, you can receive a free service from Freedom Care in your own home from a loved one who lives with you. With Freedom Care, you decide who provides your daily care, helping you with preparing meals, bathing, laundry, transportation, and more. A family member or friend that gets paid instantly. It's all through Medicaid, and as a St. Louis resident, it's 100% free to you. New to Medicaid, the Freedom Care family will guide you through enrollment, making it stress-free for patients and caregivers. With over 7,000 five-star Google reviews, we've perfected at-home care for Medicaid members and caregivers. If you live in the St. Louis area, this service is free to you through Medicaid, and with our InstaPay app, caregivers can choose to get paid instantly. So go to freedomcare.com or call 314-697-4912. 314-697-4912. That's 314-697-4912.
Donald Trump has been in a press conference about tariffs and reciprocation of tariffs. We're going to listen to that here in just a second, so stick around. It is 1:49. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
97.1 FM Talk presents Talk in Action, where we shine a spotlight on local charities making a difference in our community. Join us as we give back and connect neighbors in need. Visit 971talk.com/talkinaction to learn more.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. We've heard a lot about tariffs. We talked a lot about them yesterday, of course, and now Donald Trump from the Oval Office moments ago was speaking to the press on the reciprocal tariffs that he's putting in place. Let's listen to it in his words.
Mr. President, you are meeting Prime Minister Modi of India this afternoon. What kind of trade and tariff relationship would you like to have with India, and what's the vision for India?
India traditionally is the highest, just about the highest tariffed country. They charge more tariffs than any other country. And I mean, we'll be talking about that, but again, whatever they charge us, we're charging them, so it works out very well. It's a beautiful, simple system, and we don't have to worry about, we're charging too much or too little. But traditionally, India is right at the top of the pack, pretty much. There are a couple of smaller countries that are actually more, but India is they charge tremendous tariffs. I remember when Harley Davidson couldn't sell their motorbikes into India because of the fact that the tax was so high, the tariff was so high. And Harley was forced to build, I guess they built, I don't know, that was a while ago, but I think they built a factory in India in order to avoid paying the tariffs. And that's what people can do with us. They can build a factory here, a plant or whatever it may be here, and that includes the medical, that includes cars, that includes chips and semiconductors. That includes everything. If you build here, you have no tariffs whatsoever. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think our country is going to be flooded with jobs.
What should consumers expect? Are prices going to go up short-term, long-term?
Not necessarily. I mean, not necessarily. But I'll tell you what will go up is jobs. The jobs will go up tremendously. We're going to have great jobs for everybody. This is something that should have been done many years ago. China did it. I mean, China did it at a level that probably nobody's ever seen before. If you manufactured a car, you couldn't send it into China. The tariff was so high. So everybody went and they built in China. It was no big secret. So we're going to see, but it's going to mean tremendous amounts of jobs. And ultimately, prices will stay the same, go down. But we're going to have a very dynamic country.
But if prices go up, Mr. President, because of these tariffs, who do you think voters should hold responsible?
Oh, I think what's going to go up is jobs are going to go up, and prices could go up somewhat short term, but prices will also go down. And I think the farmers are going to be helped by this very much because product is being dumped into our country, and our farmers are getting hurt very badly by the last administration. The last administration hated our farmers, like at a level that I've never seen before. I think our farmers are going to be helped. Jobs are going to be helped, but our farmers are going to be helped. Our manufacturers are going to be helped. And again, if somebody wants to come in, including the car companies, if they want to come in and build car plants, they'll do it without tariffs, and therefore prices won't go up. There could be some short-term disturbance, but long-term, it's gonna make our country a fortune.
So Americans should prepare for some short-term pain.
No, you said that. I didn't say that. You know?
Well, if the prices go up.
Let's see what happens. Nobody really knows what is going to happen, other than we know that jobs are going to be produced at levels that we haven't seen before. We know that we think interest rates are going to ultimately be coming down because of things that happen, and they go hand in hand with the tariffs. But we think that the prices for some things, many things, it could be all things, will go down. Ultimately, will go down.
Mr. President, can you explain the timeline here, sir? There's a period of time for a review, a report, 180 days. Sure. What's the earliest date that you think tariffs will actually be implemented in executed?
Well, I would say, maybe I'll ask Howard to answer that, because he's going to be the one that's implementing. What do you think?
Our studies should be all complete by April 1st. So we'll hand the president the opportunity to start on April 2nd if he wants. So I think we'll be ready to go on April 1st, and we'll hand it to the president, and he'll make his decisions. But remember, if they drop their tariffs, prices for Americans are coming down. Our production's going up, and our costs are going down. Remember, it's a two-way street. That's why it's called reciprocal.
And have you spoken to any American CEOs directly about this? Are they calling you and asking for
I've spoken to many,
exemptions?
and many love it. And they say this is going to be the thing that makes our country really prosperous again. And this is going to be what pays down to $36 trillion in debt and all the other things. And this is going to be, this is an amazing day. I think this is going to be a very big day, and in a very positive way for our country. Yes, please.
Mr. President, you've talked about the VAT and the EU before, and your concerns with how the EU treats you. Do you have a number in mind on the European Union? Do you have an idea of where that number is going to land?
Well, what they are now is they have a 20% VAT tax, which we're considering to be similar or the same as the tariff. Plus, they charge lots of fees, and they're doing something else. European Union's been very tough on our companies. They sued Apple, they sued Google, they sued Facebook, they sued many other companies, and they're American companies, and the kind of numbers are staggering. And the court system over there is not very good to our companies. If you know that Apple had to pay, I think, $16 billion in a penalty, a court case that was really shocking, because most people thought they would have won that court case, people that watched it. So they've been very tough. Airlines have called me up and they said, could you help us with Europe, because they're charging us so many different fees. I got a call from the head of American, United, and other airlines saying, every time we land a plane, we get just absolutely killed by the European Union. And so they haven't been treated as good. We think the European Union is wonderful. We all love Europe. Love the countries in Europe, but European Union has been absolutely brutal on trade. Canada's been very bad to us on trade, but now Canada's going to have to start paying up. And Canada's been tough on the military, because they have a very low military cost. They think we're going to, protect them with our military, which is unfair. So Canada's going to be a very interesting situation, because we just don't need their product. And yet they survive off the fact that we do 95% of what they do. And Canada is just absolutely, I say it, and sometimes people smile and sometimes they say great idea, but Canada, their taxes would come down greatly, their security would go up greatly. Amazing things happen to Canada. And really, Canada in this particular, why would we pay $200 billion a year in subsidies to Canada when they're not a state? You do that for a state, but you don't do that for somebody else's country. So I think Canada is going to be a very serious contender to be our 51st state.
Going with Canada, there was obviously a delay in implementing those tariffs.
I spoke to Governor Trudeau on numerous occasions, and we'll see what happens. But it just sets up so good for them. Look, the people would pay much less tax than they're paying right now. They'd have perfect military protection. They don't have any military protection because And you take a look at what's going on out there. You have Russian ships, you have China ships, you have Chinese ships, you have a lot of ships out there, and people are in danger. This is a different world today. It's a different world. They need our protection, yes.
You mentioned Elon Musk and the efforts that he's undertaking with your authority. You granted him new authority this week. Will he secure any new government contracts while he is working on Doge?
No, not if there's a conflict. If there's no conflict, I guess what difference does it make? But we won't let him do anything having to do with the conflict.
Are you personally checking to make sure there's no conflicts of interest?
Yeah, I am.
He answers to you.
Sure, he does. First of all, he wouldn't do it. And second of all, we're not going to let him do anything where there's a conflict of interest.
Donald Trump speaking from the Oval Office right now, answering questions from the press. It seems like mostly just answering Caitlin Collins' questions.
I was going to say, it's mostly her.
Well, it's fine.
Those are not bad questions.
Well, it's what the counter message is saying, and I want Donald Trump's response to it.
Exactly.
And the fact that it's Trump's response and not Carolyn Levitt's version of the White House's or the administration's response, it's beautiful. I absolutely love it. We're going to monitor more of this conversation right now and see if he makes any other news. A lot of times he's reiterating things we've heard before, but there's always the possibility. We got a lot of that information there on the tariffs, the reciprocal tariffs. Price is going to go up. Price is going to go down. Not 100% sure what's going to happen, but he thinks long term it's absolutely what's best for the country. That's why he did it. More on the Annie Fry Show when we return, 2 o'clock hour in just a few minutes. Don't go away.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
Reassurance from the Oval Office. Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Trump says he expects tariffs to remain the same for many countries as he rolls out a new reciprocal tariff policy. Also saying it doesn't necessarily mean prices will go up for U.S. consumers.
I'll tell you what will go up is jobs. The jobs will go up tremendously. We're going to have great jobs for everybody. This is something that should have been done many years ago.
The plan is to match the tax rates other countries are charging on U.S. imports in an effort to level the playing field and eliminate trade imbalances. For now, a review will continue with no changes in tariff rates yet. One of the most controversial Trump nominees wins confirmation. The vote was 52-48 in the Senate for Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to lead Health and Human Services.
The Kennedy nomination was on the ropes a few weeks ago. Several GOP senators opposed him privately, but the White House worked to persuade Republicans to support Kennedy. Democrats opposed RFK Jr. because of his positions on vaccines. They also doubted his knowledge of Medicare and Medicaid when asked about the programs during his confirmation hearing.
Fox's Chad Pergram on Capitol Hill. In the end, former Senate GOP leader Mitch McConnell was the only Republican to vote against Kennedy. A car-ramming attack in Munich, injuring 30 people, not far from the site of a high-level global conference.
The city of Munich is already under high security because of the 3-day Munich Security Conference, which begins tomorrow. And this all took place just about 1 mile from the venue of that event. Among the attendees is Vice President J.D. Vance, who touched down in Munich earlier today. Police are still looking for a motive in this incident today. They say they do not believe that the incident is connected to that conference.
Fox's Alex Hogan, the 24-year-old suspect, is in custody, an asylum seeker from Afghanistan who was previously known to police, accused of driving his car into a crowd at a union demonstration. America is listening to Fox News.
Joe Montana here. In my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease. Are you 50 or older like me? The CDC now recommends vaccination against pneumococcal disease. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at increased risk and over 6 times greater risk of hospitalization with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50. Schedule your appointment today at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
During tax season, your info travels lots of places you can't control.
W-2 arriving from payroll platform 3.
Everything criminals need to steal your identity is on your W-2.
Last call for accountant and home office, 1 minute.
LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second.
Tax preparation data centers with service to IRS. All aboard.
If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
The winter feel in place all afternoon. It's cold, it's windy, some sunshine, but only 27 for the high. Clear, light winds and very cold overnight, 12. Friday, partly sunny, cold morning, but a wind from the south returning Friday afternoon. That's going to warm us up to 38. Periods of rain late Friday night and Saturday, and Sunday, partly sunny and 25. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
This is attorney Todd Nissenholtz of Kaufman Townsley. We know the loss and the cost of an accident because when an insurance company offers a lowball settlement, we go to war for you and take the fight to the insurance company. Call 314-500-5000.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac home standby generator from Generator Supercenter. They're the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter of St. Louis. Call 314-499-2020. That's 499-2020 or GeneratorSupercenterofStLouis.com. That's GeneratorSupercenterofStLouis.com.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Go to IGotFloor.com if you're looking to shop for flooring. That's where Michael's Flooring Outlet is. Now, if you go into the store this weekend, they got 3 different locations ready for you to shop. If you go in, you're going to meet some of the best people. And it's very nice when you're shopping for flooring specifically that you go into a store that is just dedicated to flooring. You don't have to walk through the paint department to get to the flooring department where you're trying to find somebody who can talk to you about flooring, so you get somebody from like cabinets over to you get the point. You go to invest a pretty penny into those beautiful new floors that you want to refresh your home, where everything comes in beautiful clean lines and a fresh new flooring smell in your house. That's something you're going to invest in. You want to make sure that you're talking to somebody who makes sure that you know all of the options that are available to you, that you are looking for carpet and you know the different finishes, the different kinds of padding that you can put in, that you get to touch and feel the Mohawk Smart Strand line of carpeting. All of that is available for you top notch at Michael's Flooring Outlet, online at IGotFloor.com.
A lot of people, when they come in, they'll say, this is my last hope. The next step is getting them in the right arch supports. Our goal is to have that long-term change for them, to see someone that is in pain. I change things for them. See how we can help you with a free fitting at the Good Feet store.
Get a $15 O'Reilly Auto Parts gift card after rebate and receive 2 times O reward points when you buy 5 quarts of Castrol Edge full synthetic motor oil. Visit your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store or O'ReillyAuto.com.
It's never too early to think about going to summer concerts. Tune into the Mark Cox Morning Show every day this week to win Doobie Brothers tickets. They'll be at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater September 4th. Listen and win Doobie Brothers tickets with the Mark Cox Morning Show all this week.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
So Democrats, a message is needed. Why not develop a tax plan that Democrats support that maybe has no tax on tips, has better tax treatment for middle class America, better tax treatment for Main Street businesses in the country, as opposed to singing outside of the Capitol? Why not do this in a rural area, in an urban area across the country?
Yeah, Democrats, what are you doing with your time? Protesting, we definitely know that. We all messaged each other here on the show yesterday after the show and conceded that we had the Whose Side Are You On song in our head.
Whose side are you on? I couldn't stop singing it for
That's
all
better
night.
than she did.
Well, maybe I should have just been there.
Maybe you were.
Maybe I was in the background. Maybe we could Photoshop me.
What do you want me to do with this thing here?
Well, I want you to play the original just so that people who don't know what it is know what it is first. Okay, so this is from what I think Tuesday. There were people protesting the Doge cuts. And
Did you say Doge?
What is it? Doge?
I think it's a little bit of a zh.
Doge.
Doge.
Cuts.
Somebody said earlier they don't like the word Doge. They want it to be doggy.
Yep. So these people were protesting Doge cuts, and they decided to make that into a melody that we all would remember. The trouble is they weren't great at singing it, but it was an original song. I'll give them that.
Yeah, I hate to do it, really.
Oh, which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me, which side are you on? Which side are you on?
How much do I have to
fight against Joe?
That's enough. I mean, you don't have to play a whole.
She should have started lower. She's like, no.
Oh, yeah. Get that register because she knew she was going up from there.
You know what? Like, we're making fun of this woman. Is she embarrassed?
I would guess that she's not even online.
I need to, like the fact that this is going to become a thing.
Maybe every day.
I just if she was embarrassed by her singing, I would feel bad for making fun of her.
Well, then let's not find out.
If she like shows up and does this again, then I will carry
this
on.
This is track 2 on the CD.
I don't want to.
So the way that this happened was this morning. I don't remember exactly. Brad and I will talk in the morning, and we were just talking about whatever. And it came up that, oh, yeah, that song's been stuck in our head. And so I don't know if you said it or I said it, but I said, you know what we need to do is take that song that has no music and make it into dubstep. So
you said that?
I think I said that. And then I played a couple tracks for Brad, and he goes, that one. That's the one. We both agreed. Yeah, this is it.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me, which side are you on? Which side are you on? We'll fight against George. We'll fight Elon Musk. No, we must get within our walls. We'll fight from dawn to dusk. Oh, which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me, which side are you on? Which side
this is the major chord side.
Trump's coming for our unions. He wants us all to fail. He wants us to bow to him, but we want him in jail. Oh, which side are you on? Which side are you on? Tell me, which side are you on? Which side are you on?
It's hot. Right? When you heard that, you were like, dang, I need some X.
What?
The website.
See?
And glow sticks. The website.
You go to a lot of children's parties. You know the worst part about that is you didn't make the song worse.
No, I made it better.
You actually did.
It's a banger.
If I hear that again, I want the dubstep version.
Yeah.
Because there was at least melody. Like it was, I don't know how you did that, if it was AI or whatever.
No, I made that.
It felt like the dubstep track was trying hard to keep a melody, and she was protesting.
She was not very helpful in keeping the beat.
But the other offensive part about what just happened here is that you picked up your drink halfway through that dubstep thing. What's in that? What's in that styrofoam cup?
This is half regular Dr. Pepper, half diet.
And half Hennessy.
I think I just hit my head on the mic.
No, you did. It's not a thing.
It was my hat, Bill.
You can hear the ice.
It's a shame sometimes that we're in radio, you know?
My favorite part.
I think a lot of people are feeling that way right about now.
My
I think what you intended was not what was implied, but the inferences received.
It very much so felt like a rave because there was even the part where like the music went silent and it was just like the lyrics. Everyone sing it.
Yeah.
And then it dropped
And
again.
then the beat drops again. Boom.
That's where you had me the most in it.
Yeah. Not a little behind the scenes. The first part of that is a different song than the second part.
Yeah, I can tell.
Really? So, because the beat comes in pretty hard, the second part.
Like I said, the second part is a major.
It's pretty
key.
good. And the problem is the first part lined up pretty well. Second part, not so much. The singers were off the beat.
Yeah, it's their fault.
I had to do a lot of editing that second part to make that work.
Can this go on the hotkeys page, please?
Not for the show. You can put it on Mark Reardon's show. He'd be fine with it.
I will happily do that.
Please.
Just put it in for one of the liners.
Oh, yeah, I'll completely change
Make the Sue's
name.
News open that. Today. At 4:15.
What am I supposed to do for the next 6 minutes?
Oh, we can talk about something else. Whatever you want.
How about the absolutely obnoxious, arrogant, cracked egg on your jacket while people are suffering?
I wore this in solidarity with people. With people who were
How much
suffering.
Hennessy was in the Diet Dr. Pepper?
Man, which side are you on? Which side are you on? I'm wearing a shirt right now that when I saw it in my closet, I said, I don't wear that shirt very
That's a
much.
jacket. Just ask Ethan.
It is a jacket.
Okay.
It's clearly a jacket.
Unlike a
Zipper.
pullover.
It's a track jacket.
Like what I'm wearing right now.
And it has a fried
Long
egg
jacket.
on the side of it. And it
You know,
makes
like
no
people
sense.
do.
Yeah, the shirt makes 0 sense. But in a time like this, people see it, and they probably get a little jealous because of the way eggs used to be priced.
Please connect the dots for me. Please.
There aren't two
I
dots. There aren't two dots. There's
The
no
dots are on
lines.
separate pages
There's
right now,
a
man.
dot, and the dot's
connected it
name
for
is
you.
Ryan. It does not connect.
Why does it make people jealous?
Russell on
Ryan
YouTube
broke.
says, "I've never wanted 5 minutes to go by so fast in my life." Well, this song here is 1:07. I could, we could revisit.
You know, what we
it.
should probably do is play the full original. And then, yep.
No.
I was getting excited.
I was too.
That's all right. We'll just sit here.
We can play during the break.
Okay.
No.
And I'll
Absolutely
dance. I'll even skank to it, which makes no sense, but I'll do it.
not. Don't give them ideas.
Don't go away.
They're going to start tying protests together.
There's been a lot of great audio from the Democrats in the last couple of weeks.
A lot of ammunition.
Yeah. I think Annie is going to do the quiet thing where she just assumes that I pick it up and I start talking. So, all right. Check this out. Check out this story from the New York Post.
Watch me do radio things.
Carnival scolds cruise passengers for this prohibited balcony activity. Any
Skanking?
guesses as to what it is? Nope, it's not kissing.
I don't want to
Oh, he was
make
calling
any
his
other
dog.
noises.
It's not calling your dog because you're on a cruise.
Oh, Carnival.
Any guesses?
Intimate activities.
No, that's what you would assume. And in fact, the headline says, and it's not sex.
Oh.
It simply looks bad to hang your clothes out on the balcony.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that got us a pretty good 45 seconds closer to the break. And I want credit for it from our CEO.
Oh, my God.
We don't have one.
Oh, my God.
Maybe we could send this to the next one. Let them know that I
don't want to send this to the next
talented.
one. We're not going to send this to the next one. We're going to keep this whole thing
Are you sure?
a secret.
Maybe they're tuning in right now to see if
Well, it's
we
nice
are
knowing you
worthwhile.
guys.
And I want them to know that we are.
Ryan, you have never been so excited for something on the show than you were that dubstep version of that song.
No, that's not true.
Yes, it is.
No.
You skipped in here at the beginning of the show.
Oh, I was very proud of that.
Yeah,
no doubt
you
about
were.
it. No doubt about it. But there's things I've been more proud
of. Like when you're potty training your 2-year-old and they poop in the potty for the first time.
Yeah.
You know how proud they are of it because what you've done is you've told them like every time they go in the potty you get like an M&M.
Uh-huh.
Ryan, every time Ryan does work, he expects like an M&M.
Oh, absolutely.
You know when he walks in the room that he did something good.
Uh-huh.
How long did it take you to make that?
Only about a half an hour. But I want credit for working on it because I had to step away from my other duties just to do that. You know, anytime I come up with anything though, I'm like, oh, we got to play. We got to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking back at some of the things. Do you remember when I did the Kamala Harris ad for vice president? Do you remember? Can you turn me on? I've got it.
You're on.
Here we go.
Weird.
When it comes to picking your vice president in 2024, the choice is clear.
Always ask, is there a Venn diagram for this? I'm telling you, it's fascinating when you do.
Kamala Harris.
Venn diagram, those 3 circles, right?
Or Dan Quayle.
The vice president gave students a spelling test.
Potato.
The boy wrote the word correctly, but Mr. Quayle wasn't satisfied until he had added an E.
Kamala loves potatoes, and she's running this year. Dan Quayle isn't.
We all need a mom. We need you to be Mamala of the country.
Oh, heck.
Your mama so Kamala, she got elected VP.
My mother she would give us a hard time sometimes, and she would say to us, I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
She's relatable.
Raise your hand if you went to school on a school bus, right?
And she'll make America electric again.
I love electric school buses. I just love them for so many reasons. Maybe because I went to school on a school bus.
Make America work again.
Workers are building electric buses so people can get where they need to go.
And make America laugh again.
I love your laugh.
The choice for VP this year is clear. Dan Quayle. He's not running, but wouldn't he be better? Paid for by Quayle Dan Pack.
Are you proud of that, Ryan?
I am. And we needed more mileage out of it because I think right after that, she became the actual nominee. We didn't really get to use it anymore. We've come a long way, haven't we? Gosh, it's just weird to hear the laugh again.
Yeah, we get a lot of people saying, we dodged a bullet.
Man, we should play that every week.
Just as a reminder.
Just as a reminder.
Yeah, if you think it's bad,
remember
it could
this.
be worse.
Yeah.
And it's not bad. It's all good. Annie, are you okay with Trisha next? Is she coming in?
Yes.
Yep.
Super.
Yes.
What's the matter? What is the matter?
Really firing on all cylinders here.
Yes. Yeah. Probably Trisha. For Annie, are you okay? Next, don't go away.
Every handout in every town and every lock that ain't
This
locked
is the
with
Annie
no
Fry Show.
around. I sing
Find the podcast,
Taylor
on-demand-audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
to let 50 cents. No phone, no pool, no pets. I ain't got no cigarettes, all but 2 hours of pushing broom buys an 8 by 12 4-bedroom. I'm a man of means, by no means king of the road.
Lutheran education is a click away at lisastl.org/Annie, LESASTL.org/Annie. Learn about how a Lutheran education is accessible to you. Learn about the schools that are near you. There are 37 elementary schools in the Missouri, Illinois, St. Louis area, and there's one waiting for your phone call or for your visit. You can call up the Lutheran school near you and just ask to tour, ask questions. It doesn't cost you anything to do that. Set up a mutually agreeable time at a Lutheran school near you. And remember, the questions that you have, they're going to be able to answer them. If you're thinking you might need some financial help, that is available as well. And it's much more affordable than you might think it's going to be when you first look into it. I think a lot of people have kind of pushed off the idea of a non-public education. They think it's out of reach, but I'm here to tell you that a Lutheran school near you is well within your reach. Small class sizes, a faith-based and family values-based education and environment, STEM education, extracurriculars. You are going to get a great opportunity, a great education at a Lutheran school near you. Lisa, stl.org/Annie.
Hey, Jimmy Fallon here with a quick listening tip for you. If you miss Fox Across America or any of your other Fox News favorites, do not worry. I got you covered. You can stream previously aired shows with Rewind, available exclusively on the free Odyssey app. So if you're busy work days, it doesn't mean you have to miss out on the news. Listen to your Fox shows on your time with Odyssey. To get started, just download the free Odyssey app and search for Fox News Radio. That's Odyssey, Audacy. I'm spelling it out in case you're a little slow like me.
If you're struggling with weight and frustrated with dieting each and every year, Mark Patrick Seminars can help.
After this hypnosis, I would want to eat good food.
Since August, I can honestly say I have not had one potato chip.
It was life-changing for me.
And I don't think about desserts like I used to.
Bridget, how much have you lost now?
I lost a total of 83 pounds.
Holy cow.
It's easy, it's fun, very relaxing, and very successful.
And I would just say go for it.
Early bird special, only $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings. That's right. Seminars, Sunday, March 16th, Aviator Hotel and Suites, South I-55 in St. Louis. Weight loss seminar, 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar, 2 p.m. Or Monday, March 17th. 4 Points by Sheraton, St. Louis, Fairview Heights. Weight loss seminar, 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar, 8 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group. Are you worried about market volatility? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw, and as a family-owned business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. We have a lot of folks that aren't aware of all the new investment choices that are available, which give you growth and protection from losses at the same time. Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying? We can show you how to avoid those fees. So come in now for your free retirement review and get a second opinion on your retirement plan. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We are proud to say we haven't lost a penny of our clients' money in 39 years, and we won't lose a penny of yours either. Let our family help your family. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
When you have Rhino Shield on your house, it does a couple of things for you. It beautifies the house, and it protects it from the harshest elements. And boy, do we see those here in the greater St. Louis area. You get instant curb appeal. It will stick to anything. Rhino Shield is the answer, no matter whether you're painting a home or a church or a business or a condo, because it's 100% waterproof. It takes care of the outdoor maintenance on whatever is on the outside of your home. The brick, the block, aluminum, steel, stucco. They can put this on with the 2 to 3 coat process. They're there about a week, and they do a great job. A lot of businesses have done it in the area. Several Firestones have done that. Vantage Credit Union over the years, Harlan Packaging down in DeSoto. Call Darren today and schedule your free estimate. 877-25-RHINO, easy to remember phone number, or go online today at 877-25-RHINO.
Lifestyles Unlimited member Lisa appreciates having mentors who have her back.
Having the faith to move forward, and y'all have everything provided. I could call a mentor and say, hey, I don't know what to do. Someone is always there to guide you. I have backup.
Lifestyles Unlimited, over 33 years teaching the real estate retirement roadmap. Text the word radio to 88007. That's radio to 88007. Join now for $297, a 60% savings. Lifestyles Unlimited. Text radio to 88007.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 55 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
97.1 On Command. Just tell your smart speaker to play 97.1 FM Talk. Or download the Odyssey app and stay on top of everything happening anytime, even when you're not close to a radio. This is The Annie Fry Show.
And now it's time to play Is Annie Okay With This?
Well, Trisha, it's that time of the week.
Hey, Annie and crew.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for having me. It feels like it's been a minute since we were all together.
Yeah. Thanks for being in here to class up the joint.
Woo! Here we go. 104-year-old woman granted birthday wish and taken to New York prison. A care home resident in New York, her name is Loretta, celebrated her 104th birthday by visiting the local prison. The Livingston County Sheriff's Office facilitated the visit, where she enjoyed activities like cake, getting fingerprinted, and touring the jail. The care home operator expressed gratitude to the Sheriff's Office for making Loretta's wish come true. Annie, are you okay with birthday parties?
Mine or other people's?
Any?
Yeah.
Yours.
If I like the people, yeah.
You're okay with yours? You like being the center of
Softer, yeah.
attention.
When was the last time you had a birthday party, Annie?
It was on her birthday.
Maybe 21? No, 30.
21?
Yeah.
That's a long time
Well,
ago.
what do you consider a birthday party?
Easy.
Hey, yeah, rude.
Okay, to be fair, like 5 years is a long time ago, so you could be 26 for all I know.
Like, if we're talking about, like, my family and my parents come over and we have cake, is that a party?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
I mean, that happens sometimes if it's convenient for everybody. I'm trying not to forget anything, but maybe when I turn 30.
Ooh. If you live another...
You guys all sound real sad for me.
Aw, somebody threw a
oh,
party.
that's pathetic.
No, it's cool.
Didn't do anything for my 40th. I don't know. I guess it just doesn't happen. I'm not throwing my own birthday party, that's for sure. I don't mind going to other people's birthday parties as long as it's somebody I care about.
65 years, you'll get to go to prison.
What is this? Why do you want to go to prison? A prison?
This woman just always wanted. She had never been to a jail, and she just wanted to go. So they had a birthday party at a jail.
I guess at 104, you're running out of ideas.
She threatened the guard. She said, look, we can do this the hard way or the easy way.
She shook her little fist at him.
Her little plastic knife.
I'd love to know what the hard way would include,
Well, she
Ryan.
would kill the guard and go to prison.
Obviously.
Did you ever take a tour of a detention facility? Like a field trip?
I don't
Or maybe
think
just
so.
like your life of crime?
I mean, I spent 4 years in the can, if that's what you're asking.
That was the bathroom.
Yeah. I had to hide in there because the prisoners are so mean.
Have you ever gone? Have you ever toured?
I don't think so.
Anybody else?
I have. I went to one down in St. Augustine, Florida. It was an old school one, so it was like early 20s.
Was it in practice? Like in,
Not a current one, no.
Yeah, I'm talking about like
Oh.
an actual detention facility that is in. No.
I have not.
I have toured a juvenile detention.
Yeah.
Yeah. Facility.
Was it a field trip?
It was not.
Sounds like fun, though.
Okay.
It was not.
So that happened.
I was not stuck there for what it's worth.
Somebody was walking you through and being like, listen, you
It
need to
was
straighten up.
a tour of sorts, but
Thank you.
more than 100
You
venomous.
sure you want to move on?
Yes, let's continue. More than 100 venomous snakes removed from a garden in Sydney. 102.
Australia?
Yes.
Man, okay. You guys know my grandmother was from Australia. Met my grandpa during World War II when he was stationed over there with General MacArthur. They met, they got married. She came back here a year before he ever came back from the war. Thank God he did. I have a lifelong goal of going to Australia, but there is not a single wildlife story that makes me want to get there faster.
She'd tell you a lot of old snake stories.
She hated frogs. She had a fear of frogs. I assume that in Australia there's a lot of frogs in trees. I recollect her telling me that they would like fall out of the tree on your head or something like that.
On
Like
purpose or just that they were
I think it was personal.
So they weren't trying to get you. They were just sort of like...
Kind of depends on who you are and your personality. I think they'd be after you, Ryan.
Okay.
But I know she hated frogs. She didn't like snakes either. But like the spider stories that come out of Australia, that's next level stuff.
Yeah.
Huge.
102 venomous snakes, to be exact, were removed from a suburban back garden. A man called experts after seeing 6 of them moving around in a pile of mulch and then discovering that this particular type of snake piles on top of each other before giving birth. A snake catcher by the name of Dylan Cooper was called and bagged up 5 adults and 97 babies.
Snakes?
Snakes. The snakes have started a new life in an undisclosed national park still in Australia, I hope. Annie, are you okay with gardening?
I don't need to. I'm glad people do.
Anytime I'm gardening, I'm always going to call Dylan Cooper.
Dylan Cooper. Bag up the 97 babies and 5 adults.
Gardening is a wonderful idea.
Mm-hmm.
I could see myself caring about that in the future, maybe.
I want to be somebody that gardens. Man, I'll read, it's like, this is how you take care of your plants. This is how good it is for your mental health. And I'm like, I don't have time. It stresses me out thinking about it.
I want to be able to walk into a barber shop or a cafe and say something like, oh, yeah, tomatoes are really coming in this year.
You can do that.
I do it, but people immediately go, no, they're not. What the hell are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, God, and I run. I want to be able to not do that.
Can't you just Google it before you? How are the tomatoes doing this season?
You can't Google
Is
it on that local of a level.
Tomato season?
No. You can't do that.
Meanwhile, a humpback whale briefly swallows a kayaker in Chile.
My. Jonah?
Ooh. A humpback whale briefly swallowed a kayaker before quickly releasing him unharmed in an incident that was caught on camera. The kayaker was with his father when the whale surfaced and engulfed him in his kayak for a few seconds before letting him go.
So wait, did the father watch it, or was the father in the kayak also?
Unclear. While whale attacks on humans are rare, collisions with cargo ships and strandings have been reoccurring issues in recent years. So the whales are mostly running into ships, but this one accidentally swallowed a guy for a moment.
Do you think
hairball?
Did they call it an attack?
If I were in the kayak, I'd feel kind of
attacked, but
it says whale attacks are rare. I think that it was maybe just like an addition to the story, like some context.
Like if you're just a big old whale swimming around in your ocean and your mouth is open and a kayak kind of
You're just yawning.
It's not really your fault.
It's like swallowing a bug.
Yeah, you didn't mean to. You're not trying to eat
You
that
didn't
bug.
prefer it. You'd kind of like to spit it out.
Yeah, in fact, you would if a bug was in a kayak.
And this whale did.
Did it say how long that it swallowed him for?
A few seconds.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, it'd be.
You think the whale went, oh, person or ooh, kayak?
I don't know.
I think
What
the
do you
kayak's-
think?
I think the kayak's pointier than the man.
Have you seen the man?
I have not.
It's a generalization.
Yeah, maybe he's kind of a pointy guy.
I think it's not krill, so he probably said
Maybe
it
he's an
both.
old-fashioned British gentleman. He's very, very proper and very pointy. I think I'm going to go in the kayak.
Swim away.
Father, would you like to join me?
What's the question?
Annie, are you okay with kayaking?
No.
Let's not wear our kelp suits.
Brad just wants to get this
so as to
segment
be
done.
more appetizing to the whales.
Go on.
Wear the regular suits today, Father.
Man slapped with $200 fine for using speakerphone in a train station.
I double it. Double
This
the fine.
Oh,
happened
no, I like when they do this.
in France. A man was chatting with his sister on speakerphone when he was approached by an official from France's state-owned rail company.
What'd that sound like, Ryan?
What? I don't even know what the story is yet. I was
know.
thinking about the time it happened to me in a Sam's Club.
They're French people. That's all you've worked with much less.
Take it away.
They got onto
You
a
built
big,
this
loud
entire story about this
speaker?
proper Englishman in a kayak that was swallowed by a
the
whale.
French speak something else.
French.
I don't know what it is.
Yes, you do.
If I did, I'd run with this story. I don't know what the heck they're saying.
Well, judge him like an Englishman.
Would they say bonjour over the loudspeaker? Because if they did, I would say, oh, that's just a nice greeting. Maybe it was an employee.
If you're this man, you're in France and you're chatting with your sister on speakerphone
Okay.
in a train station. Go.
Okay. You're just on. That's the story. Is
That's
that you're just
the
on a
story
speakerphone
right now. Well,
was he just rude?
Yes.
That's it.
He got
This
fined
made international news
He got a $200 fine for it.
for being rude on his speakerphone. He was going bonjour, bonjour, bonjour.
Ender says
Eh,
croissant and oui oui.
Yeah. Bonjour. Je suis votre papa sucré.
What are you swearing?
No.
Okay.
I said I want my sugar daddy. I guess I do know a
See,
little
you
bit
do
of
know.
French. A little bit.
You do know. What's the question?
I tricked you.
Are you okay with speakerphone in
I
public?
think you tricked yourself.
It all started coming back to me, just like when I was in prison earlier in the segment.
You've had a wild life, Ryan Wiggins. A wild life.
Not really.
No,
That's the best
I tell you
part.
what, on the radio I have. My regular life is super boring, but I can make up some stuff with the best of them.
What was it?
You okay with speakerphone in public?
No. Don't watch your videos. If you're watching something on your phone, hold it up to your ear at like the one volume above mute.
Isn't it funny to see somebody in a doctor's office just
Let it
cracking
go.
up at some random video that doesn't matter at all? You're just like,
Can you hear what the video is?
not really, but you can tell that they're watching something.
Tell their sound.
Yeah.
Shouldn't the audio from your phone never be audible to other people around you in public?
Well, what if you're making a big business deal?
You want everybody to know about it?
No, but
in
you're like,
French.
you got to be intense. You can't well.
In the doctor's office? How big can the big business deal be if you're in the doctor's office for your colonoscopy and you're trying to get the job done?
Listen, you SOB. you need to sell this thing right now.
You don't have to have the other side on speaker.
We're gonna lose our butts on this thing if we don't move right now. You got to yell that, whispering that in the doctor's office. That's not going to go anywhere. Person at the other end going to go, this guy's not serious. He's whispering that we're going to lose our butts on this thing.
That's not
Why
videos
can't you just
and
walk
audio.
outside?
Because you're in the doctor's. You got to see the doctor. The appointment's right now.
Ethan, do you play your phone out loud in public?
No, not
That sounds like a yes to me.
No, I mean,
That was a hesitation
I'm trying
and a
to
no.
think of situations. I'm very adamant about. I hate this when people do it on a plane. That is the worst.
Yeah. What are you doing? Why are you doing that?
I think there are certain places you can get away with it on lower volume. Like if you're in the store and you're like kind of walking by and passing, it's not like you're. Now, a doctor's office makes much more sense because you're sitting there like with someone. But if it's more so in passing, you're not consistently around people. I think there's a little more.
What about
leeway
in a
for it.
restaurant when you can hear every word of the dialogue from a video being played on a
Yeah, no,
phone
that's a
or
no.
a kid's tablet,
No, that's
the
a
table
no.
over?
That's a no.
There's times, man. It's okay, though. It really is.
When?
I'm not going to jail for you on this. You listen to me, Seamus.
And finally, Domino's is launching pepperoni-inspired perfume for Valentine's Day. The limited edition fragrance is a nod to its pepperoni.
Do they even sell this crap?
I don't think so.
Do they just market that they're
I
going
think
to
they
do
just
it?
market it.
Nobody's looking for it.
No.
Nobody wants it.
No.
Right?
Nobody wants it. Nobody wants to smell like lunch
Pepperoni?
meat.
Pepperoni passion pizza. It smells like spice, pepper, and a woody warm base. If you're interested, you can head to Domino's website to enter to win a...
Why did they put Woody in there?
Ryan, I feel like this is something you would like secretly like try to win.
Not secretly. He would tell everybody about it.
And they bring it around and spray everybody
Yeah,
with it.
I'd be lifting my arm up.
So you can
know what
only
that
win
smell
it?
Unclear. Right now, they are running a contest through February 17th where you can win a bottle of it.
I like how you're Snopesing these articles in real time.
Well, I don't know.
Was the father in the kayak? Unclear.
This is
Fact check
exactly what you do
possible.
in Wiggins America every day.
That's why I said I like it.
Oh, you mean it genuinely?
Yeah.
I read these articles and I anticipate what you guys are going to ask, and I've gotten better over time, but you guys still got some
Still tough, isn't
curveballs.
it? Yeah.
It might hurt
Keeping me on
the
my
sales though for Johnny Duncan and the Funky Bunch if you if you get caught wearing this.
Tell you what, man, it's a deep cut. You got to
Still
be a
need to make
big
a Johnny-
Andy Fry Show fan.
Johnny
to
Duncan
get that
t-shirt. That's got to happen. For you,
Crushing
right?
turts.
Crushing turts.
I
How
still
about
want
a
that shirt.
Johnny Duncan?
Johnny Duncan.
How about a Crushing Turtle advertising Johnny Duncan?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, let's mash everything I've ever said
With an
into
egg.
one shirt.
It's
On top of the
With
turtle's
an egg,
head.
Horrifying shirt.
and a guy in a kayak wearing a full business suit.
What was the question?
Are you okay with perfume?
Yeah, I like perfume. Not too much, but I think it's perfume scent is something that society has gotten away from a little bit, and a good scent is nice to be around people who have. I mean, I don't know. Are you getting in your best athleisure putting on perfume? Maybe not, but maybe I don't know. But looking nice, caring about how you look to other people instead of just caring about how you feel in your clothes yourself. We have gotten away from that. COVID did a number on it. Athleisure became fancy. You can buy very nice and expensive athleisure now. But it's really nice to see people who look nice. And it's rare, too, to see people who get dressed up. But perfume goes along that line.
This one's for a video. A good scent is nice. That's why Trump's trying to get rid of it.
What?
The scent, the 1 cent. You right? The scent.
Every good joke that you tell always needs a little explanation. The penny.
Yeah, but 1 cent.
Don't make this a video.
You get it, though?
Don't. I'm getting banned.
That's all I got.
Thank you, Trisha.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you soon. We're going to take a quick break. We'll get to the results of the YouTube live chat poll. Can gone woke businesses successfully unwoke themselves? Chris says, nope. Once woke, always woke. Janine said, I voted yes, but that is if they do an about face and apologize for their error. Let us know what you think on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Fry Show.
RulerFoods.com. If you're shopping at Ruler Foods, then you're saving money. It's kind of that simple. When you go to the Ruler Foods closest to you, if you're shopping, we went to the one in St. Charles. We've done several diaper drives there, food drives there. I shop at the one in Collinsville. My husband does as well. I know Ryan does from time to time as well. We go there because it is affordable. And when everything isn't affordable, Ruler Foods is there to make it possible to feed yourself, to feed your family, and not have to break the bank doing it. They have the name brands that you love on sale, but they also carry Ruler Foods brands, the Kroger brands, at Ruler Foods prices. That's how you get to save so much and be able to fill the cart up so that you can afford it when you go to the checkout line. Save on red or green seedless grapes, $1.99 a pound. Strawberries, 1 pound package, $2.49 each. You can save on Heritage Farm leg quarters sold in a 10-pound bag, just 69 cents a pound. You can also save on Kroger 73% lean ground beef sold in a 3-pound roll, $3.33 a pound. Save when you shop at Ruler Foods. They have delivery available as well. Find all the details online at rulerfoods.com.
Do you ever wonder if you've saved enough to retire? Discover how you could make your money go a lot further in retirement in a 3-hour adult education class called Retirement Planning 101. Hey guys, it's Dave Glover here. This one-night class is taught by a fiduciary advisor from Financial and Tax Architects with decades of financial planning experience, and they're held at colleges and libraries throughout St. Louis. You'll learn about reducing your taxes, maximizing your Social Security, paying for health care, and more. There's no cost. We would ask that you bring 3 canned goods that we're going to pass on to the St. Louis Crisis Nursery. So you have 2 jobs when it comes to retirement, in my humble opinion. One is saving the money, putting it away. And then the other, just as important, is how do you take it out and what do you do with it after that? Find out at Retirement Planning 101. Simply call 314-350-8110. Again, no money necessary. 314-350-8110. 350-8110.
What's it going to take for you to realize the IRS is in full-blown attack mode? And if you have IRS issues, your timely response is critical. Hi, this is Lance with the Land Story Law Firm. We certainly know the IRS has ramped up efforts because we're seeing a lot more clients with threats of intents to seize property or levy rights to property. If you have IRS issues, call the Land Story Firm today. Today, don't wait. Those IRS notices have hard deadlines for exercising your appeal rights. If you miss the deadline, your rights to a legal appeal are gone. Let the Land Story Law Firm get between you and the IRS today, and we'll help you manage your case to achieve the best outcome. IRS problems are serious legal matters, so call Land Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Don't wait. Call 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120, and schedule your free consultation with me, Land Story, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
99 years. That's how long Overhead Door Company of St. Louis has been repairing and replacing garage doors for savvy homeowners. Since 1926, they are the only authorized dealer of overhead door brand products in the city. Always look for the iconic red ribbon to be sure you're dealing with the genuine, the original Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. For same-day garage door repair 24/7, call Overhead Door Company of St. Louis or schedule online overheaddoorsstlouis.com. That's overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Stop everything you're doing right now and ask yourself, are you currently receiving steady paychecks? What about when you're retired? Will you receive a monthly check to cover your expenses and also have some fun? Marvin Mitchell and the team at Compass Retirement Solutions calls this mailbox money. It's a monthly check you'll receive throughout retirement. They don't want you to worry about if the money will show up or how much money you'll receive. The only thing they want you to think about is how to spend it when it arrives. Find out how to get enough money in your mailbox every month when you're retired. Call Marvin Mitchell and the Compass Retirement Solutions team at 314-373-1598 to start working on a plan that can help you create the monthly income you'll need in retirement. Call 314-373-1598 right now and schedule a visit with Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois.
Can gone woke businesses successfully unwoke themselves? That is today's YouTube live chat poll. I have not peeked at the results on this, so we are going to find out together what the results are here in about 5 or 6 minutes. You still have time to get your vote in. It's a YouTube live chat poll. Type in Annie Fry on YouTube. Today's date will come up along with the live stream. You can vote there and be a part of the conversation. 2:49. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Hey, good afternoon. It's Mark Reardon back from a trip to the Capitol and the Mizzou Journalism School. I'll share some stories about that, but lots of stuff related to Doge going on today. We'll have the very latest confirmations for RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard. All that coming up after Fox News at 3.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. There's a lot of these stories that keep kind of materializing over the last week or two. Donald Trump, one of the things that he promised he would do was to end DEI, and he put a lot of people in places in his cabinet. They keep getting confirmed. Big day today for RFK Jr.'s confirmation. Of course, Tulsi Gabbard confirmed, was it yesterday? Kash Patel is slated for confirmation process early next week, I believe. It doesn't seem like any of these folks are going to not make it through. So the Republicans in the Senate, you know, if it goes 50-50 and there are a few senators, Republican senators who don't confirm, it's really kind of a non-story. It's like, whatever. Win's a win. Mark it down. Move on.
And they know it when they vote.
Yeah.
They know that their vote isn't going to make a difference. They might be doing it on purpose.
Yes.
To make a statement. I don't know why, but...
When we were listening yesterday to that obnoxious minority leader of that Doge subcommittee, and she
literally,
we were literally listening to her talk like this. I'm speechless. I don't even have the words. So anyway, she was talking about how all of this cost cutting that is taking place, or fraud and waste rooting out that Doge is doing. Did Trump say he was going to do that, or did he say he was going to lower the prices of goods that you consume? And then she goes, or were they going to do this? And I was like, no, he said he was going to do all of it. He's been in office for 24 days. And he's done a lot of it.
Yeah.
But the DEI thing is kind of, it probably not underreported, but we haven't talked about it really as much. I've had these stories sent to me a million times. I'm seeing them too in my more niche types of news outlets that I follow that are specific to the Disney stuff. But Disney is really making somewhat of an about face right now on how they are handling business. And, I don't really give them a lot of credit. Like, I'm not like wanting to give them a warm hug, one might say, because they're doing the right thing right now, because they're doing what I would consider to be the right thing, because that's the right money business thing to do. And I've said this a million times before. The woke stuff, the super hyper, diversity, equity, and inclusion type of stuff that they were doing before was also a money decision. They put their finger in the wind and then they go that direction. There are no morals and principles among these types of things, especially when you see big companies like this just do an about face when the trend has gone the other way and they know that the dollar is now headed this way instead of that way. They go this way, away from the thing that they had committed to before. It's always been all about business. And I wished that Disney would get back to the place where they would commit to the business part of it. Ryan, you've got a story about, we've discussed these disclaimers that exist on some Disney movies right now. Tell us about the latest development with what Disney has decided to do there.
So Disney is ditching its severe woke warnings on family favorites such as Dumbo and Peter Pan. That doesn't mean they're getting rid of them entirely, but they are changing the wording of them. And the Daily Mail says the American entertainment giant becomes the latest to quietly tweak disclaimers on its decades-old films, featuring themes of possible racism or relying on ethnic stereotypes in the wake of U.S. President Donald Trump's return to the White House.
They're basically going to say, like, the new disclaimer, they're not removing that what was there. They're not taking the content down. And I kind of gave Disney credit from not eliminating the ability to watch Dumbo or Peter Pan in the context of the time where everything was getting taken away. I'm glad they didn't take it away and that their compromise was to put those disclaimers on it. Now they're basically just saying, this video was made during a different time. Go on and watch it.
Fine.
I don't care.
Yeah. And especially, it's anybody who would protest this wants to kind of control what you're thinking much more than this even would suggest.
Yeah. And having the content still be available, I think, is important. And also, if you watch Dumbo, there are some very racist things that are in Dumbo. Like, that's actually factually true.
I don't even remember. It's been so long since I've seen those
go
movies.
to the crows. And
Okay.
there's actual crows that are in there. And that's like a Jim Crow thing. So, I mean, honestly, it's an opportunity to teach your kids a lesson about something. And the content still being there makes it so that you can be. It is racist, and I think that talking about it openly is the right thing to do. They also have a memo that went out that indicated that Disney's plan for evaluating executive compensation would no longer be focused on a former diversity and inclusion factor, but rather a talent strategy factor, among other metrics. This is from an ABC4 report, abc4.com. The company is also implementing a new framework to replace its Reimagine Tomorrow initiative, which launched in 2021 and aimed to amplify underrepresented voices. So it's happening. So the YouTube live chat poll for today, our question is, can gone woke businesses successfully unwoke themselves? Another story, I don't have the source with me right now, but it was like a Disney kind of source, was saying that Disneyland is looking at the fact that they're pricing people out of being able to enjoy their properties, and they're looking at the possibility of offering alternatives.
So good.
Your answer to the YouTube live chat poll, we could have talked about this more. We can in the future.
If this is based on, just bottom line business leaders, yes, they can unwoke themselves.
You're open to the idea of a woke business unwoking.
Yes.
Brad?
Not only am I open to it, I actively encourage it.
Second, exactly that sentiment. Brad, Ethan, you want to give us your thoughts and get us out of here?
Yeah, I completely agree with both Brad and Wiggins that it can be done, and I think that there is proof that it is actively happening. So here are the results to today's YouTube live chat. Poll 254 votes. Can gone woke businesses successfully unwoke themselves? 64% say yes, 36% say no.
I like that breakdown. 2/3 of the people are saying maybe there's a little bit of hope. But I saw a lot of this in the comments. You want apologies. You want open, honest apologies, and I'm with you on that as well. It's not enough to just change what you're doing. Acknowledge that you did it wrong in the first place, and I think you'll win back consumers all over the place. Mark Reardon next.
Does the state of this economy have your head spinning? Let GregHammonds.com relieve one burden, health insurance. Greg Hammonds at GregHammonds.com specializes in under 65 health insurance plans that have zero copays and no deductibles. You choose your doctors and hospitals. These plans have nothing to do with your income and are 30 to 60% less than Obamacare. These are also available all year round to those that qualify. If you have a small business or you're paying for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employment coverage is just too expensive, call Greg at 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to GregHammonds.com. That's GregHammonds.com. They can customize a plan chosen and managed by you. not the government. Call 314-794-7784 or go to greghammonds.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon from my friends at Zero Res. February, of course, is the month for love. And when's the last time you gave your carpet the love and attention it really deserves? Have you gotten down on your hands and knees and adored how clean and refreshed it was? Or are you scared about what you might see or smell? Probably the latter. Keep in mind, not only is your carpet one of the biggest investments in your home, it's the biggest air filter in your home. So if your carpet hasn't been professionally cleaned, you're breathing unhealthy